All right, let's get into it. Well, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Scrap Time. It's been a minute. There's been a champs event since then. Our last time we did this show, I looked it up. It was disgustingly long time. We got EWC coming up this week, and we want to get it to you guys as early as possible. So that's why we are recording on Monday. We're going to get into the groups. There's a bunch of stuff that's happened between now, last time we did this show, and now. A couple of wrinkles for this event. But as always, I'm happy to break it down with our panel. We're going to start to my right. We got the human turd himself, Mr. Octane, a.k.a. Samuel LaRue, world champion. Below, also world champion, former coach, Eagles fan. Wearing the Gymshark today. Guns out.
Are
Eagles fan.
Are those top 4 JKap things? Eagles fan makes the cut.
Eagles fan's got to make the cut.
One of my top four notable things.
Eagles fan.
Eagles fan, and wearing the tank top today.
Hot right now because we just got our rings. I got one.
We getting his champs ring from the Super Bowl, and then Chelly, what are you wearing today? What's that shirt?
It's White Sox, like throwback, little throwback shirt.
The throwback. Too bad the team is Buns McGee these days.
It's really bad.
Let's start with you, Chelly. We were talking about this. Where have you been? I feel like you fell off the face of planet Earth after champs.
I mean, yeah, I've just been dealing with the move from Dallas, so that's been keeping me busy. And then, yeah, just been grinding off season for me personally, like obviously balancing esports and normal sports. I mean, dude, the MLB's got me wanting to gouge my eyes out. I don't know about you guys if you've been watching any actual sports, but I'll watch anything but MLB.
All season for me, brother. If it ain't football, it ain't nothing.
Yeah, I feel that.
As a Yankees fan, the last 2 months have just been torture, bro. We got no bullpen. I mean, we play the Blue Jays in a big series starting tonight.
I thought you were a Mets fan.
No, hell no. Thank God I'm not a Mets fan.
Oh, Pierce
Thank
is a Mets
God
fan.
I'm not a Mets fan, bro.
Yeah,
I
Pierce is a Mets fan.
I can't imagine being a Mets fan.
TeamSpeak Mets fans.
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
Tucker, my chat's a Mets fan. Yeah, like RJ and Chaw and them are all Mets fans, and I couldn't be.
Who was the guy that the Yankees let go and then he signed with the Mets?
Juan Soto.
Is he Ash?
No, he's really good.
No, he's good. He's not having a.
Is he just in hell?
$800 million. He better be good.
Is he in hell this year or what?
I don't think he's doing that bad.
No, they're probably they should be good to be thereabouts in the playoffs. They're just not I don't know if they can hit the highs of last season is the problem, but we'll see. We shall see. Cap, we'll go to you next. I know you've been in the speak playing a lot of CS and stuff. How's that grind?
Oh yeah. I'm in a crisis. Past 3 days, can't get a kill.
Oh no.
I started so hot. No skins. I don't buy skins.
I thought he was gonna say that too, Sam. Not gonna lie.
I started hot, and then I went last weekend. My boy had a bachelor party, so I left, came back, haven't gotten a kill since. Not a single kill.
Cap, you need drip.
Not one?
Not one kill.
You need a 661 AK. You need drip.
I'm not spending money on a skin.
Cap, when you started talking there about a crisis, I thought you were about to talk about how the market's crashed in CS and the prices are coming down.
No, I don't give a shit about that.
Dude, I saw they lost the CS skin market's like $330 million in the hole since the 7-day trade window thing got announced.
Yeah, but I do have some advice. If you're gonna buy now, because in 2 to 3 days, so depending on when you're listening to this, so on like the 24th, when the 7 days are the first people who had the trade ban or the trade stuff, it's all gonna hit the market again. All that money's gonna come back into the market, so it's gonna go back up.
You guys make sure you guys all have echo cancel on if you don't mind on TeamSpeak. Yeah, I agree with you, Chelly. It's with this. I think the change obviously for K streamers and openers, people on that end, it obviously sucks, but I see the logic in what they were doing. Chelly, I think it might be your mic that's kind of.
Are you sure? I have echo cancellation.
Just check the sensitivity on your mic in TeamSpeak and just move it up a little bit if you don't mind. Guy Chelly always has fucking mic issues every time we do a fucking show.
Chelly.
I don't even notice some.
My chat does. Shout out to him.
I'm gonna read your chat.
And let's talk about Sam. Sam was watching Sim 0-12, GTRP, gambling addiction, convo.
Not good.
Content last weekend.
Chelly.
Yeah, I know the server's down for a bit, but what have you been up to in the last few weeks?
GTA. Unfortunately, I only played 2 days, but I am hooked, so I gotta wait for that to come back. Yeah, RP, DBD, just in the off season since Verdansk decided to kill multiplayer COD a couple months ago. So kind of in the day to day, just as we go.
No Verdansk for you?
Fuck no, I haven't played COD in like 2 months.
Wow, look at you.
Dude, I'm COD is awful.
I see you're back on Apex.
COD's
Give it another
awful. Yeah,
try.
I've been playing Apex with Kendall a little bit. COD's awful. I haven't played it in months. It's bad.
Yeah, I think we're in the COD lull now. Where I will say this, Sam. We got roster me to talk about after this event. Like, there's some good streamer content you have for a few weeks after.
There's CDL content, but like Call of Duty like streaming content is ass. But there's CDL stuff. So
yeah, it's gonna be tough. I think that CDL streaming content's not gonna pick back up until the beta's out, which is rumored to be at the end of September, after COD Next. So we'll see what happens there. We got a lot between now and then, though. Let's get into it. We're going to talk about EWC on this show. If you're not aware, Esports World Cup is going on in Saudi Arabia. It's been on for a few weeks. It runs to the end of August. Call of Duty is there this week. It's a $1.8 million tournament. And if you don't remember, the format is 4 groups of 4 GSL groups, so win 2 before you lose 2. And then a single elimination bracket after that. So a lot of people complain it's a Mickey tournament. But the biggest wrinkle in the tournament is not the format. It is a bit of a rule change for this tournament. Coaches are allowed to be on stage and provide communication in real time in hardpoint and control. And in S&D, they're allowed to talk to their teams in between rounds. So I want to start with you, Cap, because you used to be a coach. What are your thoughts on them trying out this rule change? You a fan? You think it's kind of cringe?
I wanted this for a long time because I thought, as I tweeted Sam the other day, I thought it would make coaches useful. I feel like coaches have such a limited impact right now, but for this event specifically, I would bet most coaches aren't even going to say shit because they're not up to speed as far as like in-game comms in the moment. And like, that's a skill you have to develop as the game goes. And they're not going to pick up on it in like 5 or 6 days of practice or whatever it's been. Like, it's just been way too short of a time. So I would bet most coaches aren't even going to talk in game. Unless there's something glaringly obvious, like, yo, pick up a lane, like a lane's open. But
I think a handful of them will.
think so?
I think Clay will.
I don't know. I just think, like, what? Because the problem is too, unless you're up to speed, like I said, with like all the comms and like what you want to, like someone wants to do off spawn, like you saying something and then that person, like whoever you're talking to, like if you tell a player to do something, has to like react to it and then do it. Like the play's so slow in real time.
It can pull you out of the moment of like
the
game. Yeah.
The play's so slow in real time. So like that's what I don't know.
I think like I don't think they're going to be full blown calling out, but I think that there will be maybe sets of like bullet points before maps that like maybe they'd harp on in the moment, not necessarily like hyper specific things like what to do off spawn, but more so like key rotations and shit like that, or like how they want to hold certain things or whatever. I don't think they're going to be like full blown calling out, but even then I'm still completely against it.
Yeah, I mean, you obviously made your thoughts pretty clear on the social, Sam. You tweeted a couple days ago. Playing that on stage at EWC is an EWC only thing. The CDL doesn't do it. And to your point, it reduces the skill gap. I kind of back up Cap though. And I'm curious your thoughts, Chelly. Like, I was thinking about this earlier. Like, I think FaZe with how weak MC's cells comms are. I could see Crowder stepping in quite a bit. I think for a new team like C9, directionally, I think Lamar can maybe keep them on point a little bit. I know the OpTic guys have talked about it a little bit. I know Clay has talked about it a little bit that he thinks he can have a plus on. Like, what do you think, Chelly?
I mean, I could see it being useful for some teams, but like you guys are saying, like it really, in my opinion, I commented under the EWC tweet. I was like, teams should just GA this. I think that the few teams that it does probably help, like Sam said, it's not going to put them over the edge or help them at the end of the day really win a game. Just any glaring mistakes, I'm sure that just real quick, like next time off spawn, hit this. Like maybe off spawn. I think that's like the biggest thing is like, hey, hit this route off spawn. That is because you're in a kill cam anyway. So it's good timing that they'll actually be able to take that in. But if you're in game, like, don't hit ult, go new, like no, like I don't think you're going to want to hear that as a player, and it'll definitely take you out of the moment. So I don't like it at all.
I think that's fair. I think it's first off, I think we can all agree it would have been nice if this change was communicated like right after champs. As far as I know, coaches found out about it last week. So it's not like they've had weeks.
they all
They've had
said
like
it.
what 5-6 days of practice or something like that.
Yeah, I found out about it earlier because I think there was some communication going on that people that were already at the ground, and the rumors were just kind of spreading from there. But like, if they had communicated this like right after champs, I think people would have had more time to prep. But I think the line is going to be for the coaches, like how much you want to lean into it. It could have a negative effect because you will affect decision making if you say the wrong thing. But on the flip side, you could also affect positively if, let's say, in hardpoint, you're looking at everybody's POV and there's a lane that is not being picked up that someone needs to pick up. There are little examples of things I think people can do real time and respond. So that's a big wrinkle for this tournament. We'll see. I think we'll monitor it this week and see how it goes. The other wrinkle for this tournament, we were told going into this tournament that all 12 CDL teams would be participating. Well, not exactly. So Carolina Royal Ravens, and we'll get into it more throughout this. TJ and Gwyn left the team as a contract allowed them to do after champs. They left Carolina in a position where they had to fill 2 roster spots. Unfortunately, that didn't really fly with EWC, which had rules about making major changes to the roster, and therefore Carolina got denied from participating in this tournament, and their spot was filled, and we'll get to who fills it here later on the show. I'll start with you, Chelly. Like, what are your thoughts on the whole Carolina Royal Ravens EWC drama?
I mean, I'm not trying to shit on the entire org itself, but is it not Ravens for the most part that have always seemed to be in some sort of controversy with like visas? I remember one time, and
Yeah, with Real.
Yeah, with Real, exactly. Which, I mean, looking back on I really wish they could probably get that one back.
Yeah.
But I think the rule itself is stupid. But it sounds like it was a breakdown. Benji, I'm sure you'll go into it a little bit more. I think I heard you talking about it briefly, but it just sounds like a breakdown from both sides. I don't know if you can completely pin it on EWC, because it does sound like a two-way breakdown. So,
well, there was attempted communication, right? And then apparently nobody in the Ravens got some sort of email that was like allowing them to understand the situation. Is that what Brian Saint had said? I think on Tommy's stream. I don't want to completely misconstrue what he said because I didn't watch the actual clip, but I'm fairly certain there was some sort of email sent to the Ravens that like apparently just nobody got regarding their roster problems or some like whatever was impeding that decision. And they just went on like it was fine. And then obviously the repercussions hit with the major team change and now they're not allowed to go. But apparently there was some communication fuckery that occurred.
So there's 2 problems from what I understand. And we haven't really gotten EWC side of it for what it's worth. So we only have really what the Ravens side has said. And as always, truth somewhere in the middle. The Ravens players' contracts didn't really account for the EWC situation. Mostly everybody else in the league either signed new deals or had amendments placed so that they were contracted through the end of EWC and then after EWC, figure out your roster situation at that point. So like Gwyn and Tej were always after champs, like free agents. Carolina, Brian Sink came on stream with me and Tommy and walked through that. From Brian's POV, they didn't get their invite to participate in the EWC until the week of champs, like when they were actually in Kitchener. Now, Brian didn't know, and I wonder if the real truth is that someone at Rogue, their parent company, had to fill out some paperwork or accept an invite for weeks or months on end and just ignored the email or went to one of their investors. And so that like, there's a bit of a disconnect there that complicated it. But I think the combination of those two created a situation where Carolina was in breach of the rules and EWC wasn't willing to make a exception. I think this is obviously stemming from like last year when Boston basically blew up their team and that was allowed. I think they clearly have made rules since then to kind of prevent that. So yeah, that's kind of the breakdown. So Cap and Sam, I don't know which one. Me giving me the breakdown now, like what are your thoughts on the situation?
I mean, sucks to suck, shitty situation. I don't like. There
feel
seems
for
like just
Austin.
yeah, no, I definitely feel for Austin not being able to compete at that tournament. I mean, not to shit on that team, but I don't think that they would have done anything super meaningful regardless. But still, being able to compete there anyway, it's $1.8 million. You know what I mean? That definitely blows. But I think that I can't speak for other esports because I'm not sure how their season's like schedule shakes out for the most part, but EWC for COD is in such a weird spot post champs. Like it's essentially the off season. And this is, again, a lot of the contractual stuff where you're starting to make changes and you have a short amount of time between champs and EWC. So I think like the rules specifically with Call of Duty, it can be a little bit of a murky area because people obviously don't want to keep their team if they didn't qualify or if they bombed out and this, that, and the other. So I think, it was just bad case, bad time for the Ravens or wrong. I don't know. I feel bad.
Wait, the
What
rule
did he
was you could only make one change, right? That was the
2. I think you were allowed, and they dropped their whole team other than Austin.
Yeah, they had to make 3. Basically, they had like major and minor change rules, and 2 was considered a minor change, and they were willing to make an exception for Carolina. I know that like generally across all esports, I think some of the communication with EWC has been a little poor from what I've heard from teams kind of complaining. So take that as you will, but I think this is just one of those situations that like Carolina could have done some things better, EWC could have done some things better, and they just kind of ended up in this shit spot. And at Turtles' point, Exceed 2 appearances at EWC Austin. Well, he's gone to 0 in 2 seasons. That's definitely.
Wait, what happened last year?
He got
he
dropped
wasn't
off of
playing.
Boston. He
wasn't playing at the end of the last year. Yeah. Wow.
Funny.
Damn, he hasn't even been.
Wow.
Jesus.
He hasn't gone to a single
he's
EWC.
dodging the flight, bro.
He's dodging.
He doesn't want to make the flight.
He's on CS.
Fucking
He is on
he
CS.
has been on CS. Well, speaking of EWC, let's get into it. So here's what we're gonna do: is it's hard to really project out like the playoff bracket. So I think the best way to do this is kind of go through the groups, give our thoughts on who's gonna advance. There are picks up. We can talk a little bit about that. Some of the lines are up, but it's gonna be kind of hard for us to predict what the bracket will. But at the end, we'll kind of give our predictions on who we think will advance. But here are the groups. In Group A, you've got OpTic, 5 Fears, G2, which is Minnesota ROKKR, and C9. Group B is Vancouver, Surge, Team Orchid, Challengers Team, 100 Thieves, aka LA Thieves, LAG Mates. I guess they're not playing under Gentlemates, which is kind of interesting. I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit weird issue with the website. It was a little confusing to me. In Group C, Boston Breach gets the first seed in that group. We'll get to that in a bit. That's a bit of a surprise. KOI.
Wait, they are playing under Gentlemates.
Bro, the issue is on the main EWC Black Ops 6 website, which is kind of not updated
Just
right
their
now.
name listed as.
They were still listed as LAG Mates on here, so I don't know.
Okay,
what their
because
actual
Mates,
brand-
they're like actual.
Yeah,
thing, I'm
yeah,
pretty
that's
sure.
on the wiki, but like on the actual
Yeah, I got you.
EWC website is a bit confusing. Breach have number 1 seed in Group C. They'll be playing Team More in that first matchup. KOI, AK Toronto Ultra, and Falcons run out group, a very open Group C. And then Group D, you've got Miami Heretics playing under the parent brand, Atlanta FaZe playing under the parent brand, OMiT, and P7, which was the old OMiT Brooklyn team. So you want to just pick a group, or is there a specific group that you guys want to
We
start
can just
with?
go A to D.
Yeah, we can
think.
start with Group A. So this is OpTic's group, and we should kick it off and talk a little bit about OpTic. Obviously, they've had just the weirdest season of all time, but what happened since we did the last show? They pulled up 2 champs and were the best team at the event. I know the finals got a little bit dicey. I think Vancouver had a chance, but the better team won, I think, and that was OpTic. So, Sam, we'll start with you. I think OpTic are probably good value to get out of this group, but do you think that they are your number one favorite for this
If
tournament?
they don't get out of the group, I'll eat my own ass, Benjay. Yeah, I think they'll probably get out one. I mean, them winning champs was like the most, honestly, it was the best case scenario for COD. I'll put it like that. I did not expect them to do well, let alone win the fucking tournament. I think that them winning it was the best thing that could have happened, just like viewership wise. And I think people are going to look back at this year a little bit more fondly. If OpTic hadn't won, I think that this year would have been one of the worst years of the CDL personally. But I think people are going to look back and remember the back-to-back that they got, and I think it's going to go over a little bit better. But I mean, Merc got champs MVP. That kid's the truth. I said he was the truth since Major 3 when I saw him play for Toronto. I think that, they deserved it 100%. They played a flawless tournament. Vancouver, unfortunately, again, getting a second place. That's their third one, fourth if you count the minor of the season. A little bit Vanguard phasey. I hope that. I don't know if I want them to win EWC, but it would be a very good feel-good story if they could. But OpTic winning champs was fucking unbelievable, man. It was an insanely dominant tournament run up until finals. I don't think they dropped them. They didn't drop a map until the finals, right?
No, until
We're in the finals. That's it.
Yeah. It was one of the better champs runs I've seen. I mean, they looked lights out all weekend. Kyler was phenomenal as well. I mean, I gas Kyler every opportunity that I get, but that guy was fucking generational all year as well.
I mean, Cap, we'll go to you next. Do you think that OpTic are going to go back to back? Obviously, people had weeks now to prepare for them. watch their VOD. I know OpTic are a team that tinkers a lot, but do you think maybe a similar issue to last year? They're just a little bit less pressure on the gas pedal, and maybe they get like top 4 at this event.
I hope not, because I hate all the talk that stems from this event where it's like, oh, people aren't going as hard because post champs. Like,
Yeah,
it's so much money on the table. I would hope everyone's going hard, but I think they're the favorite for sure. I mean, I think what we saw at champs was the highest peak of any team this season. Like, they were so dominant at the biggest tournament of the year. Obviously, like we've said a few times, finals was close, but they got the job done. It's always going to be close, you know. Can't win a tournament without losing a map for the most part. Suppose it's possible, but you know, they're always going to have a challenge there. So they did what they have to do.
Do you think they win EWC?
they have a chance.
I think them or LAT win. I have a weird feeling LAT like had the terrible champs. Like, they're like, all right, like we gotta do what FaZe did last year, basically.
Yeah.
And on that note, I kind of think FaZe is like, I don't know. I don't have any inside sources here, but like
1 foot out the door.
back to back terrible champs performances. I kind of feel like they're just looking forward to like next roster situation. Like, let's get rid of this situation.
Dude, selfishly, removing my LA Thieves bias from the table, selfishly, I want both Thieves and FaZe to do poorly. Just so like some fucking crazy
Roster
shit
Mania will
happens.
be
Yeah.
lit.
Just some fucking. I hope Vancouver wins this shit. I hope OpTic, Thieves, and FaZe
Vancouver,
all bomb
Miami
out.
finals.
I hope we get a fucking full blown implosion, dude.
Vancouver
don't
Miami
think
finals would be
OpTic-
comedy, bro.
I don't think OpTic makes a change no matter what, though.
I don't think they will either. No,
Like-
I don't think they do either.
I mean, maybe barring like a dead last, don't win a map type, but like I don't even think that's possible with how good
I
they
think
look.
if okay, the way I looked at it is everyone's been saying that like Simp is like an option there for Kyler. And if
Yeah.
I'm OpTic, I don't think I would do that, bro. Dropping Kyler again,
Yeah,
especially after the season that he just had, and next year is probably going to be relatively similar to this year. You can't do that again, dude.
that was my thought too, because like Ant and Kyler are boys. Like as far as I don't know for sure, but like I'm pretty sure like Kyler's like one of Ant's best friends. Like he loves Kyler. So like, and we know Ant has the keys.
The warlord, man.
Yeah, he has the keys to the castle for the most part. So like after winning champs, after all the bullshit they've been through, like I don't think there's a world where he drops him.
They were thinking about
Maybe-
a roster change. I don't know if you saw the podcast and all the media that's come out, Cap. Like they didn't 100% after EWC last year. We're gonna stick with that roster. They were thinking about making a change.
I saw that,
The
but
scrap Hydra situation.
Yeah.
yeah, I just think it's
crazy.
I think it's a
son. That was
different
nuts.
situation now with
I do too.
just like, I mean, Ant, Brandon, Merc are like undroppable.
Yeah.
You know, and then that leaves Kyler against the potential odd man out, but I don't think Ant would let that happen.
I think the only chance they make a change after this event is if they get like dead last, there's some team chemistry issue, or
And FaZe has to also bomb out. If they win, that's not happening.
Yeah.
or someone gets some insane, stupidly crazy offer combo buyout, and they just want to dip and bag chase, which I don't is a 1% chance that ever happens. Those are only two scenarios I can see.
Again, as just like a fan of the esport, I want it to happen. Just selfishly, just to see like how things at the top would shake out. But I have a feeling that like one of those three is going to win. You can't not pick one of them to win a tournament.
I mean, FaZe and Thieves alone can make some interesting rosters if
Yeah,
they both.
sure.
We'll
Neither
get,
of them win it.
we'll get to them a little bit later in the show, but I agree that those are the three, and the betting odds have those are the three highest favorites right now, and it's pretty close between them.
It's got to be like 33% across the board for sure.
They're all somewhere between like plus 150, plus 220, depending on the book you're at. But I want to tab Chelly in here. Chelly, you've been on record with some negative comments about this OpTic roster. You've obviously gotten some tweets and some responses since champs. I'm gonna give you some
I'll address
platform
it.
here to
I'll
address.
it. Yeah, no, I'll address it. Listen, man. If I had known that there was a one shop, do it all, absolutely beastly version of exactly what OpTic needed in challengers just waiting to get pulled up, and a team like Toronto Ultra would even have a chance to get that player and say no, then I mean, yeah, of course you're not going to make any changes. But with that being said, 0-18 map count, it still happened. As much as you guys don't want to acknowledge it, OpTic, Green Wall, it happened. Okay.
Them winning champs erase.
It doesn't
all that.
matter, though.
It
That's
doesn't
the thing.
exist
I
anymore.
understand that, but when I made the statement,
Yeah.
I wanted either Shotzi or Dashi benched at the time, and I wanted either Fellow or Kismet to come in and provide some sort of vocal leadership to a team that was struggling to win a single map. That was what I wanted. Now, I never wanted to drop Shotzi, never wanted to drop Dashi. That's not what I said. I wanted one of them to get benched because it was an 0-18 run. And hindsight's 2020 now. I mean, Mercury's. I'm not going to say he solved their problems, but I mean that kid's undeniable.
What, you could absolutely say that he solved the problem.
I think hold on.
On the champs MVP thing, I am happy for Merc, but I still kind of feel like Ant got robbed of the champs MVP. Like specifically look at the finals, Ant was world starring.
The whole tournament was Merc though.
I think the whole tournament, like those
Up
first
to finals was Merc.
Those first three
the
rounds,
whole
I felt like
hold
they
on,
were
hold
all
on.
just
They-
world starring though.
they
They
didn't
all
drop-
had like 1.2s, 1.3s,
Yeah.
1.4s.
No, Merc had like 1.8. He had like a 1.8 for the
I know,
first
but
three
they
series of
didn't
the
lose it.
tournament.
They didn't lose a match. It's not like they were playing like
Yeah.
gritty Game 5 series. Like they were all
They were
like,
slamming.
they were
I mean, it's-
slamming.
It's kind of
I
a
think
side
Ant
topic.
definitely deserved- I think there should be separate ones though. Like I feel like finals MVP
Maybe
was
like a
Ant
finals,
for
yeah.
sure. Like he
Finals for
fucking
sure.
cooked
But that's
in
I get
finals.
maybe I'm just putting more stock in it because that was the only close match and it's
Yeah.
the finals. And he basically hard carried. Like they all did all right, but he was basically hard carried. He's making all the
No, he
plays
was.
needed.
Absolutely was.
Yeah, I think Merc had a rough finals, but to be fair, it's his first finals ever, so it's like
But I've seen him play badly.
it's like a really tough spot to be put in, bro. Like I'm not gonna lie.
I'll take it.
To Chelly's defense, I will say when you made that comment, and Dashi and Shotzi weren't exactly playing their best card of the season at the time, and I would say they were both a little bit of the drag. I know like Caesar didn't play that well. Caesar Skies, who's on the team, didn't play that well. I know Ken really struggled, but like we on this show and on other streams and other pieces, like we're definitely critical of Shotzi and Dashi and their play at that time of the year.
We're critical of the whole fucking team, bro.
Yeah.
If you don't go 0-18 with any silver linings, there's no positives to say.
Yeah.
You don't lose 6 series in a row the way that you do, and there's no positives. Of course, we're gonna call it everyone on the team.
I agree
Wait,
with
who
you
else
on
is
that.
in OpTic's group?
Well, let's move on. We've talked a lot about OpTic. I'm sure we'll continue to talk about OpTic. They're going to cruise this
tangent.
group. They play 5 fears off the rip, and then they'll play their ROKKR.
That's the
or
team that
C9.
took Raven spot, right? Or is that OMiT?
Yeah, we get to watch Charlie.
I think it was
Hixie.
5 fears because they got top 6 of champs.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, Hixie's team.
so just
Okay.
quickly, we'll talk about that team because the other team that OpTic's going to play and probably shit 3-0. They got 4th at DreamHack. That's how they qualified in for Challenger Champs. They got 6, but they obviously, by virtue of being top 6, they were in the better pro point situation. Didn't get that spot once Carolina gave it up. That was a team that Abe was on, but Capsule has now joined the squad because Abe got called off to Toronto. We'll talk about that. So it's currently Capsule, Exceed, Fire, and Hixie, and I assume you all just kind of agree. There's just not enough firepower in that team. in a
Challengers
group.
team, man.
Yeah, it's just
Who runs the ARs on that team?
Cap
Fire.
and
Cap's running an AR.
Cap, Fire.
No,
Exceed,
it's
and
Exceed and Fire. It's
Exceed
Exceed
and Fire running. They are on that team. Wait, Charlie and Cap are the subs.
Yes.
That kind of makes sense, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just not enough firepower. It is what it is. It's just-
Yeah,
But I
They're
will
not going to
say
make that.
Cloud9 in this group, Capsule. I mean, you got to think there's not great blood there after just
oh,
getting
there
dropped.
is some
and-
beef.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a storyline there to
Ooh.
look out for. So I'm sure Cap's gonna try and do his best to, slay out against his team that literally just dropped him.
We'll try his best. I just don't know if it's going to get very far.
I mean, it could
Not
happen,
even
right?
Capsule specifically, just the rosters all matched up. It doesn't look great.
I mean, it could happen, bro. I mean, if C9 lose, 5 Fears definitely gonna lose to OpTic. That's your elimination match, like one of the first matches on Friday. We get the bad beef.
Yeah,
But we
just
can
the easy thing. I think losing to 5 fears.
yeah, that'd be insane. But C9, I guess we could talk about it. The one adjustment they made is Gwyn coming over from Carolina, and obviously Cap getting dropped. So you now got a Gwyn Kremp sub duo. What are you guys' kind of thoughts on this move? You guys kind of agree it's a little bit of a C9 upgrade, but just not sure how much better it makes them. We'll go with you first, Chelly.
I mean, yeah, the fact that Gwyn was even available, I know we were talking about it a lot, how he should be pretty much the one that they kind of build around if you're going to be the Ravens here. So great pickup for them. I think that I know he's been criticized a little bit for not being maybe the best arrow on the mini map. I'm sure Sam LaRue, Octane will get into that shortly. But just in terms of, slaying ability and firepower, that I think that Capsule was doing a pretty good job slaying out. So I'm not sure how big of an upgrade it actually is. But obviously you want Gwyn over Cap any day of the week. So I don't know how much better it actually makes them, but on paper, they do become a better team. I'll say that.
Yeah, what do you think? Sports Sib, Gwyn, Kremp, Sam, you think
This
C9
team is rogue.
is rogue?
This team is fucking rogue. The names are interesting on paper, like Chelly said, but just like the way that all these guys have played the game the whole season, I just don't know how much this moves the needle for me. Like Cap wasn't getting shit on, and yeah, Gwyn is a really good talent, but like I think this team is just very rogue. I don't know how. I don't think they're gonna have an identity in a game mode. I think that like the way that Sib and Kremp have played this entire season. I know Spart's like relatively new to the team still. I don't know how much it helps. Truly, it's a fun move. It's interesting to see Gwyn off of Ravens because I thought that he would have been shackled there for a while. But I just think that this team's pacing and the way that their just identity and specifically in respawn, I think is just going to be all over the place. I think they're going to be extremely inconsistent.
These are the
Granted,
stats.
maybe only be just for one event. But
Is this the stats last time we saw them with Caps? They went 5-6, including land on hardpoint, but they were 2-5 in S&E control. So, like those like early.
Gwyn's coming from a shit control team as it is. I don't think he's bringing map winning tendencies from Ravens, and then S&D he's serviceable. So like that was their weak points as a team. You drop Cap, who's a phenomenal search player. So
I think Lamar could help though, maybe with the in-game comms. Maybe Lamar can kind of help these guys stay on the tracks a little bit.
if there's someone coaching that could do it, I'd trust Lamar for sure.
What do you
We'll
think?
see.
What do you think?
Doesn't move the needle for me.
What do you think, Cap?
I'm excited to see Gwyn on a non-Ravens team. I want to see him have like not only a good tournament himself, because he did only have some of those towards the end of the year, but like a good team performance now. So I don't know what to make of this roster. It is a rogue roster. But I'm excited to watch him. I think it's a interesting team, and I'm just rooting for some success for Gwyn. Otherwise, I mean, we've said it a million times, but like he's got to get out of this cycle of like putting up good numbers on these last place teams.
Actually, like I've criticized him a lot for his land performances, but at champ specifically, I think like he kind of got costed.
No, I mean I'm not even faulting him.
No,
I'm saying I'm just saying like,
yeah, you were saying. I think that he like actually.
Oh well,
I think he got costed.
He had the one vault map where he had 40 and the rest of his team combined for 40.
Yeah, and Clay and I were like watching his arrow because like you see a stat like that, and most of the time they're just a detriment to the team when you're losing like that. Like Clay and I were like, there was a couple moments where Clay and I were like, wait, he's really not kill whoring. It was just like nobody on his team was getting it. It was the weirdest thing that I've watched. Like everyone was just kind of getting fucking hooped. It was such a weird tournament for him, but he fried individually, which is a big criticism that we had all season. So he seemed to overcome that hurdle a little bit.
Do you think with like how potentially weird this roster it can get, like this could be a big event for his stock if they get a group, even if they get like top 8 and he like fries, like he's gonna be. I know maybe Kleenex or BZ or there's other subs in front of him that people were kind of linking early, like, but he may be getting into still a good situation next year, depending on how this event goes.
Yeah, for sure. I think that was the trajectory that a lot of people had, especially after his rookie year. Like people were thinking that his trajectory was on a top 4 team, but then he hit that hurdle of not being able to reproduce the results on LAN. And I feel like this year, regardless of the team placings, I think personally, just for himself, I think that seeing the ball go through the net a little bit on LAN and have those performances that he sees online, I think that definitely helped him personally. But if they have a good EWC and this is a good time period for him over the roster mania, I don't know what C9 gave him. I don't know if this is like a multi-year deal. I don't know if this is a EWC exclusive or what, but if he actually has the freedom to do what he wants to do post EWC and they play well, yeah, there definitely could be a world where that happens.
Any other thoughts before we move on to the final team in the group? think C9 have a good chance to get out, but they're going to play ROKKR, aka G2, in that first match to try and face off against OpTic. They'll probably lose, and the two teams will probably play each other again. You would think to get out. No, as far as I know, ROKKR haven't made any changes going to this event. It's the same situation that fumbled the bag and didn't qualify for champs. So it's surprised out of that one. Start with you, Sam. Like, what do you? We talk about like FaZe being checked.
They lost me in Major 4. Yeah, I'm out. I've been out on ROKKRs. They the amount of times that these guys got in their own way, I'm just I got nothing to add to this.
Tripping
team.
over their own feet, man.
I'm
They made no
surprised.
Every game 5, every
All of it.
big moment
Yeah.
needed something.
Just tripped over their own shoelaces, dude.
They played that Toronto Ultra Overclock tournament before champs and like rage quit in the middle of the tournament. And I thought, okay, well then they're definitely making a change after champs. And then, so I don't know what's going on there. It's definitely a bit bizarre. Do you guys think that you would pick C9 over ROKKR to get out of this group, or do you still need to kind of see what happens?
That feels like the biggest coin flip.
Yeah, that feels like a 50-50 to me.
I think one of them's getting out, but with OpTic, but both rosters just feel so flawed. Like there's potential in both rosters, but they feel so flawed, and just like it's gonna be a chaotic matchup.
I almost just want to take C9 because I know what ROKKR's going to bring to the table, and I just want the unknown for me. I would pick C9. I think, especially if we go 5.
Oh well, yeah.
Yeah,
Estrel and Geo looking for 2. That's my take on this team.
Yeah,
Nero's
they're
last tournament was so good.
I know, but it's just how many times can you give the
Nero's
guy?
so polarizing, man. He's a 1.5 or a 0.7.
That's my take on this team. It's just Estrel, Geo looking for 2. I think that you can build around those guys because due to consistency. I mean, obviously it would suck to lose Nero like a talent like him, but it's a consistency thing, and we've given him, I feel like, a fair shot.
Those are your event winners, Chelly. You want to break them up?
It's time, Sam.
we'll see, but I think that's another
man.
team coming in. It's a little bit C9 same situation. I think they'll obviously have a completely different roster next year. It's just a last stand situation. And look, if you're a ROKKR or C9 and you can get out a group here, there's a possibility. We haven't talked about it, but because of how the bracket works, like let's assume that OpTic and FaZe in Miami are your like number 1 seeds, and then like Thieves maybe don't beat Vancouver. Like 3 of those teams are all on one side of the bracket. Like if you're C9, you get second, you get on the other flip side. Like you can conceivably with the right draw maybe make semis. So
And it's single limb, bro. Just catch team lacking.
yeah, you just never know. So we'll move on from Group A. I think clear number 1 OpTic. Outside of that, C9 ROKKR and end of the day on Friday. I guess we'll see what happens. Let's move on to Group B. A bit of an interesting group. So, by the way, I confirmed Gentlemates is playing under their parent brand for this event. They'll face off against 100 Thieves in their first match. And then Vancouver playing the team of Ben's, Team Orchid. So, we'll start there just really quick. That is the Bance, Beans, Harry Mythics team. So, 3 Bens and Harry.
Oh my god,
3
there's
Bens.
3
That's
Bens.
huge
3
for
Bens and
Ken.
Harry. Henry, I see as you see his list
Gotta
here,
get in there,
but he
Bender.
got dropped. What's up?
Gotta
I gotta get
there.
in there and ran out
Gotta
the
get
floor.
in
Yeah,
there.
I gotta get
Big
in there.
Harry's spot.
It's an interesting team. I just think not enough. I think Mythics
Not
set a
an
good
interesting
season.
team.
It's an interesting
Not.
team. They
No, it's
played
not.
good. No, we got to give some gas to Orchid, bro. They got second in DreamHack,
In this pool is an interesting team.
but I'm tipping the end of the season for them though. They got fourth in
Okay.
Challengers Champs and second DreamHack. Like they actually were not. A lot of people thought that Team Notorious, the Afro team, would be the EU team that would get deep and maybe make it to EWC, but people didn't think that this was the EU team that would get it done. I feel for my boy Ben Bance, right? Like, he's been grinding. I just agree with you. I don't. 100 Thieves in Vancouver. You guys probably agree are the clear teams that get out of this group, right?
This pool.
Yeah. This one's pretty cut and dry.
If they both don't get out, then big time roster changes going on for those camps.
What do you
Yeah.
think? What do you think? We'll start with 100 Thieves. What do you think Thieves need in order to hold off on making a change? They have to win or like make finals, lose to OpTic or FaZe?
At
you
least
think?
make finals.
Yeah, make finals.
If they don't make finals, then Because like I said, I'm assuming FaZe is done after this event, this roster.
Yeah.
So if LAT doesn't make finals, then I think they're going to start looking at the FaZe players and try to concoct
User
something there.
joined your channel.
Be electric.
Chaw,
Be
we're
fun.
Or
recording
if
a
they make the
podcast, by the
super
way,
team
Chaw.
on FaZe, though, Sam.
Oh shit!
That would not be electric.
I'm so
Hey.
sorry, guys.
Hey, Chaw.
Chaw, once again, Chaw comes in mid-episode. Always got to say hi, bro.
Listen,
Chaw, who do you think's winning EWC?
what's that?
Thank you, Chaw.
Thank you, Chaw. Appreciate your opinion, bro.
FaZe, obviously. Are you fucking serious?
Sure.
You know Chaw's got to support the clan, bro.
Listen,
What?
I'm getting out
Chaw
of here before I
supports
get
the clan.
started. I'm fucking
Oh, you're Klansman?
Shaw
Big-
supports the clan.
big JKap fan. Let's put it that way. my
Thank you,
friend.
Chaw.
Big JKap fan.
Thank you, my boy.
Listen, I don't want to interrupt. I'm sorry.
All right, you're good, bro. You're good. Oh, my
But let
God.
me just fucking say something
Okay,
real
go
quick.
off, Chaw, go off.
I'm gonna
User left your channel.
Oh, Chaw's comedy, bro.
User
because
joined your
those
channel.
fuck-
User left your channel.
I hear you.
User joined
All
your
right,
I'm out of
channel.
here. Peace.
All right,
User
later, Chaw.
left your
He's gonna go
channel.
play
Klansman, Chaw
fucking
Harvey.
Overwatch.
Oh my God.
That guy is unreal.
To log back in real quick, what are you guys? Because I agree with you, Cap. I think FaZe, and we'll get to them at the end. Like, I think regardless whether they win or lose, this is just the last dance. For Thieves, it's like
You think this is the last chance if they win?
we'll get there. We'll get there.
I kind of think it is still.
We'll get
Really?
there. Save that. Save that
Back-to-back
for when we talk.
years, same situation.
We'll get there.
All
We'll
right,
get there.
we're saving it.
Oh, EWC saved us again.
I want to talk about these because they had such a good run at Major 3 and Major 4. They were dominant in like every game mode. We were talking about them, in control, potentially putting up the best win record of all time. And then they pull up the champs and just across all 3 game modes, it just doesn't click at all. It just seemed like individual performances were bad, team play was bad, situational play was bad. Cap, I know you're familiar with a lot of people in that camp, so I'll start with you. Like, what do you think went wrong there? You think just a bad weekend and like you really believe they can lock back in?
I have no clue what went wrong. They just hit the bed. It just felt like one of those, like, we've seen that at champs before plenty of times where like the favorite goes in and shits the bed. But I think they absolutely can lock back in. Like I said before, I think them or OpTic is going to win this event. I think, I've said earlier, I think OpTic had the highest ceiling in this game. I do think LAT's ceiling from earlier this year isn't too far behind. And I think they can get back there, if not even better. It's just, I don't know what the mentals were like.
Go with you, Chelly. What do you think's going on at these camp?
Yeah, I mean the FaZe camp. Yeah, the FaZe camp. I couldn't
No.
tell you.
Thieves camp.
Oh,
Thieves camp.
Thieves. I can tell you exactly what's wrong.
perfect.
Second.
Oh,
yeah,
you know?
No, I got you, Sam.
You got the blow by
I mean,
blow.
bro, like there's not saying that Scrappy had like a invalid crash out, but like it just tells you the second they walked in the venue in Kitchener, bro, like they were checked. Probably out of game stuff got to them, and we've seen it time in and time out with this roster. Just not putting their head down and playing the game, which sucks that you're affected by being in Kitchener. The venue's not full. You're playing earlier than you're used to, whatever it may be. But at the end of the day, like if you want to win championships, you need to be able to overcome that, and we haven't seen it yet. And it's just sucks.
Chelly, you think they got shit on because the venue wasn't full?
I mean, what other I would love like a different explanation
I got
because
some intel.
go ahead.
So obviously, I talked to people at champs, talked to a lot of teams because the way it worked out is everybody kind of scrimped everybody in the lead up to the event, and a lot of people were like, Thieves when they were locked in practice were obviously the same team, but there were a lot more times where they played people and it just felt like they were not going 110. And I don't know if they took their foot off the gas or there were distractions. They just didn't seem like their practice. And to your point, like they were just not in that killer mindset that we saw at Major 3 and Major 4. And with this game, if you're not 100% teamwork, you can get upset. And they lost to Boston again in winners, and that's just how it goes. So
Dirty Nuzla.
dirtiest in Neslos. Maybe one of the all-time gritty ones, considering it was at champs. But
Yeah.
I think we all agree this is an opportunity for them to pull a FaZe of last year, though. Have a shit champs, and then go to EWC and like not drop maps until the final.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Winning EWC is good ass cash, man. That's why I was surprised that Cap said that even if FaZe win it, they still break up. I know like champs is like the thing, but winning EWC is good fucking bread.
Good coin.
I just think EWC saved them last year, and then it'd be the same story again. And I don't know.
I mean, it's not like they had a bad season. It's just that, like, if you're valuing their success on the year strictly based on champs, they still, hypothetically, if they win EWC, they would have won 3 tournaments.
But what are they thinking though? You know,
That's my argument. That's what I keep telling people. Like, if FaZe view, or the players view their season as a failure strictly based on champ success or just winning tournaments. Like, if all they care about is winning, granted, champs bombing out back-to-back fucking blows, but again, you still won 3 tournaments. You still made over $1 million in fucking prize money, you know?
Yeah, I just think the not ending 2 years because they could win EWC still, but ending the CDL years, like falling off the way they did, I think they're probably kind of over it, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of like the grass might not be green on the other side, but I think in their head, they're looking for some greener grass, all of them.
I think the problem is you can't predict you can't predict how the tournament's going to go, and you can't predict emotionally how you're going to feel after the tournament goes as a team and individually. And I think there's a world where they win and they just don't. They're just like, what's the point? You know, we're clearly good enough. You win EWC in your phase. They'll have won just to give the stats, they'll have won 4-7 events in a calendar year at that point. They'll have gone 4-1 in finals as a team in a calendar year. Like, normally you take that, but the 6 to champs, like,
That's why I don't think that it would matter at that point. If you win 3 tournaments
in a row
in one season, I understand it's probably mental at this point for them at champs, but like, it's not like you're a bad team. You just have the mental that you need to understand and you need to get over it. It's just, I don't think you can win three events in a year and break up. I just don't see that happening.
I think the difficulty for them is they're also a unique team that we don't see a lot in esports. They've been together for 6 years. And sometimes we just don't know because we're not in the room. Sometimes you get in a 6-year relationship with people and certain interpersonal things and things just don't improve in that trust that you need in esports and competition.
Are these hypotheticals or are you leaking stuff?
No, this is like with bands, bro. You see bands break up, like big, massive bands break up all the time. It's not because they hate each other. It's just time is undefeated. And I think the question with them is just, if they win this thing, like, do they think that they could still win champs as a squad? They have a very unique problem that we just have never. I can't think of the last Call of Duty team that had this question that they have. I really can't think of any. The Dynasty.
I'm with you.
The Dynasty
I'm with
lost a
you.
couple back-to-back events in the middle, though.
I mean, what you're saying is kind of what I was saying. Like, I think they think the grass is greener now. Like they've had so much time together. It's like it's almost they're sick of it, you know. And it's like, oh, I can do better in this situation. Like, I don't know.
I think there's just so many things that have to happen in order for them to not only think about making a change, but actually make the change, and then the possibilities of what could happen afterwards. Because they need OpTic to be willing, and they need Thieves to be willing, because you're not going anywhere else. So you need to. The only time that you're going to be able to make any changes, they're like, who are you picking up that's not on those 2 teams?
You're saying for FaZe to pick up.
For FaZe, if they really want to make a roster change and they pull the trigger, they need outside shit to happen as well. It's not just them. Okay, we're going to do this. Here's our player. We're going to go get.
They're a couple players in Vancouver,
and they need a different team.
Vancouver would be the only other team.
Who are you getting from Vancouver?
Neptune.
I'm not taking him over Simp or Abizi.
You take Neptune for Cellium. Ooh, look at that face.
Sell prop.
Look at that face of Samuel.
Sam gets it. Oh, here we go.
I think you throw a submachine gun in for Cellium, and Simp finally switches to the flex roll.
Ew, hate that.
Fine, pulls the trigger.
I'll always be against that, bro. You have one of the greatest subs of all time. I refuse to make that kid a flex. I would hate that.
I feel like
subs are the only reason you win tournaments nowadays, man.
What if you replace him with a very good sub? Go ahead, Chelly.
No, you're good. You're good. I feel like last year after champs, it never felt real, like this FaZe team would split. But I feel like this year after champs, I've actually seen like teams being mentioned with players from FaZe, and it kind of makes it feel more real. Like this roster is actually going to be splitting up, I think. I mean, you guys know what I'm referring to. The biggest one I've seen is Falcons, Abizi. So I don't know if you guys have been pushing that, getting that prop on your timeline, but I
think everybody on this team has been linked.
A couple weeks ago.
Everybody on this team has been linked. And to be clear, the contract situation of this team, the 2 ARs are full free agents after this event. The other 2 are contracted. So if You're going with the Falcons to Beezy prop. They're gonna have to buy him out. 1 year left.
Oh
on his-
no.
I don't
1 year
know if they
left
have
on his-
enough money, Sam.
Oh no. Falcons? Oh shit.
Falcons. We'll talk plenty about Falcons. Not on this show, but I think in future shows they're the key catalyst in a lot of roster mania stuff. FaZe probably the first domino, but yeah, we'll get to more FaZe stuff at the end. I want to talk about Vancouver, because I think they should get out of this group. But man, Champs Grand Finals. You know what? I thought going into the day, I was like, they're just gonna get waxed again, right? The 2 finals they had played where they just got goose egged. But bro, by the time we got to the 6th or 7th map in that final series, I'm sitting here like, bro, there is a world where this could have been 4-1 Vancouver after those first 5
There's
maps.
also a world where it could have been 5-0 OpTic.
Yeah, it was that close. So that's what I'm saying. It was really that close. Like it wasn't like they got played off the map. It just came down to an issue that they've had in these clutch series on the weekends. It just they weren't winning the key engagements at the end of these maps to close it out. So 0-3 in finals. A lot of people have been coming to my chat saying that they're checked. I'll be honest. I don't know if I agree. I think these Vancouver guys can make another deep run, but I just don't know if they can win in the finals. What do you think, Sam?
I don't know either. I think after the second time, after the second final they made,
4-0.
was it 4-0 by was it FaZe or Thieves? I think it was Thieves.
One of them. I don't know.
FaZe was
After
first,
that
then
one, I
Thieves.
was like, these guys are checked. Like they're this year. Like then they came home, they started trending down. I remember that. They got to champs and made finals, and I'm like, yo, this team is like super resilient. Like I thought this was the way they were playing in like finals. I didn't know if OpTic had the script on their side or not. Vancouver put up a serious fight, but after this, like I don't want to count them out because I already did that and was already proven wrong. So I'm still in on Vancouver. The thing that I am curious about is the off season, if they just want to stay together or not. Because I think all 4 of those players made insane strides, like not only individually, but just as a team. I think they work really well. I think the roles make perfect sense. I think the pacing is phenomenal. I think there's like a couple lackluster points, specifically like control is still like a pain point for them. I think their search is pretty hit or miss. Their hard point's been great all season. But I like their team a lot. I think all 4 of their players have fucking insane upside. And I'm curious if they're just going to stick it out or be involved in this like roster mania clusterfuck that I'm sure is coming. I don't know. I think I'm still going to stay in on Vancouver because again, they proved me wrong already. I'm not going to, go back on that, but I think they stick. I think they stay together.
What do you
And I
think,
also think
Chelly?
they make it out of this group for what it's worth.
Well,
You think
there
they
was
do?
a-
You think they do make it out of this group?
Yeah, it should be them and Thieves,
Okay.
right?
I think
Yeah.
they don't. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
sorry,
wait.
between lose to a challenger team. No challenger team is
Or
making it out of pool play,
Gentlemates. We'll get to them and
for what it's
no.
worth. Challenger teams are not making it out of pool play.
That's tough. Chelly, thoughts?
Yeah.
Vancouver
What was the
search.
FaZe roster that was like permanently second place at every event?
Vanguard
Was
the
that
one with
Vanguard?
Alec.
goes with Alec.
Okay. And what did they do? Made a 1-person change. And what do I think that Vancouver are going to do? Make a 1-person change. Probably-
Voluntarily?
Voluntarily? I mean, what would the other method?
They got
exiting?
Someone
poached
gets
because those players have played pretty good this year.
Okay. I think voluntarily. I think if I had to pin it, probably Nasty gets
For who?
replaced. I don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead, to be completely honest. I'm just trying to make comparison to that FaZe roster. That what did they bring in? Slasher for Alec? After
Yeah,
that?
but the Alex, to be fair with the Alec roster change, that was out of game stuff. BZ's talked about this on stream after the change. There was a lot of other stuff going on there. I don't think the problem with Vancouver is I think that they may just get poached, bro. Like I think a couple of those players have really increased their stock this season. Even a player like Nasty, like Byron's not the flashiest player, but he has proven that
This year he
this
was,
season.
for sure.
Bro, Byron is made. We got to talk about this. In a calendar year, he hasn't won them, but he's made 4 finals as a player on 2 different teams. That
What was the other? Oh, EWC last year.
EWC last year, like, yeah, he's not dropping 1-2s, but like he's clearly good enough to be a piece on a team that
No,
can.
he's also dropping 1-2s. He was very fucking.
He was really good
this
at
year, man.
EWC last year. All great. EWC last year was everything.
No, this year.
Well, I'm curious what his overall stats were at the end of the year.
He was disgusting
Where's-
all year.
What was his stats by the end of
He
the
had
year?
like obviously his lower moments, but like, bro, he was dropping fucking bombs this year. He was very good, and he's also calling out everything for them. Like their listenings are like he is tweaking
Their
in
listenings are
listenings, and I
good.
tip the fuck out of that. He's like, "Yo, please stop hitting the front. Like, please listen to me. Like, that's the shit that I love." Byron is actually leading that fucking team, and I like that shit.
His
And
best
he's also gross.
his best event looks like in Hardpoint was Major 3 at a 1-2 then, but he like at these
He's
land
very
events plays are good. Didn't play great at Major 4, but they sucked at Major 4. Champs he dropped a 108 at Major 3, a 109 at Major 2 overall. It's like Major 2, like you know he's good. That's why
I
I'm
think
saying
all four of these players are fucking gross.
And that's why I think
want
they're
them
gonna
to stay
get
together.
potion.
I don't know if it's gonna be their choice, obviously,
Yeah.
but if it is, I think they stick.
I don't know.
I think it's a team who sticks for what it's worth. I just don't think if there is some kind of FaZe Thieves merge or whatever, I feel like they just do that with those players, and I don't think Vancouver's really gonna. I don't even think they're gonna get like a chance to make a clear upgrade, like to Chelly's point about. I think if there was a potential for a one-person change, you have to explore that. Like if someone from FaZe or Thieves is available, but I don't think that's even gonna happen.
You know my Benjay prediction?
I think the only player that could get left out in the cold from all of that would be Dan.
Yeah. We'll get to that probably after on another show.
Maybe.
Was that your
Uh,
prediction?
No, I
No.
think that players in the team could stick, but my prediction is they may duel up and go somewhere else. I think the problem for Vancouver is if this rumor about, say, 2 new orgs coming in and wanting to spend, one of those orgs might look at the Vancouver core and be like, yo, let's get those guys. I don't know if Vancouver Surge are going to be willing to invest as much in salary as we are. I mean, the backing parent group, I mean, Chelly, you follow hockey. It's not like the Akalanis are the world's greatest teams that are recruiting free agents at times.
You're talking about Luminosity?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they could. They're not the worst parent, or I mean,
Not saying the parent org sucks. I'm just saying that they may get in a situation where, let's say the team kind of breaks apart into duos. There might be a better situation for that duo to go into, make more money, and still stick. And then they're going to bring 2 new players anyway. It's tough. I think Vancouver's going to have a real. I think they could theoretically want to stick, but I think outside forces may drag the team apart.
Yeah, potentially.
So, but they have a real chance to win this tournament. We all agree Vancouver.
But I've seen enough from them this year. They have absolutely a chance to win this tournament.
So they should get out of this group. Let's talk about a team that I don't think is getting out of this group and has been an absolute dumpster fire. And there's been a bunch of drama since we last did a show.
Can I rant about this dog shit fucking org?
Sam, feel free,
man.
brother.
Dude, not only are they incapable of making informed decisions on their roster, they have the audacity to go on stream and then flame the people and blame the coaches and the players for the way that they're playing after their decision to pick them up and put them in the situation that they are in, bro. I have zero respect for this organization whatsoever.
Who did that?
The fuck, I don't
Gotaga?
even know his name. Not Gotaga, the other
Mystic.
fucking moron.
Mystic.
Yeah, that guy. He went on stream like shit talking D-Real, saying their whole roster is playing for stats and blaming the entire season on like the coaching staff. I'm like, dude, like what the fuck are you doing? Like your ownership should not be going on stream and just flaming your fucking teams, blaming all of the outcome on the coaching staff and the players stat whoring. Like, what the fuck are you doing? That is so out of touch. Like, I don't know, man. This org, I don't want to spend no energy on, bro. Fuck these people.
I mean, I have some thoughts, but I'll let you guys go first before I fill in here. You guys want me to go? Go.
dude,
Wanna go?
I
had no clue D-Real was in here. That's good work,
The Sam crash out. I was not ready for that. Bro.
I think for some, is Mystic a part of their ownership group? He's a streamer. I think he's just an influencer for them. I don't. Does anyone know?
I
If
mean, he's
equity?
involved heavily because he's been on the watch parties with Gotaga a fair amount. Like, he's been
Okay.
involved.
So I don't know what his level of involvement is. I look. We've seen this.
Regardless.
We've seen this happen before. We saw it with subliners. Y'all remember the famous Flank episode where Tom and I played therapist to the subliners team. It was great content, but shouldn't have been said. Stuff shouldn't have been said publicly. Like, I just think what happened is that for reasons that may never become public, the team probably shouldn't have been the team. And then it didn't work out. And then they just got stuck in the blender of just trying to figure out how to make changes. And it was just a chalk situation. Like they had a lost year. No one wants to take responsibility for it. They have made a lot of changes since then, right? So Mayhem is now coaching the team, at least for this event. They have brought in some new people into the front office.
Vios is there too, right?
Vios is now at the
NWC.
GM. So he has brought over Connor, Diamond Con for this event. They dropped Fellow. So I don't think we'll expect much from LAG at this event just because of the group draw they got. But going forward, can they get some more stability here and at least pull like a Boston Breach at least? I don't know, but I agree with you. I just think even if you're not Sam, even if Mystic's not an owner, right? Even if he's not, say, Gotaga, I don't think it's a great look to take the low road when you're making front office changes and just pin it on the coaching staff. Whether or not they have responsibility for it, I think it's one of those situations where everybody's responsible for the failure, the players, management, coaching staff, and I just think taking the high road is always the best, especially if you're in a position of influence.
Absolutely
it's just not
agree.
good politics, and it's not good. It's just not a good way to conduct your life.
I mean, you're pushing away any potential fans. Like, I was a fan of this team just because of at first I appreciated the transparency that Gotaga had on stream. Like, he was willing to go on there and talk about the things that were happening with the team and his outlook on the roster and why decisions were being made versus why they weren't to start the season. And then as things progressed, I feel like the season just trended in such a poor direction that they were just looking for someone to blame. And I think that, like, I'm not sure on the European side of things, like how loud their fan base is. I know Gentlemates has a super large fandom. And I don't know how they were in Gotaga's ear, but like, I just don't understand the upside of going on stream and just berating your own team. Like, it's not positive for anybody. You're driving away the fans because they're like, they look how you are as an owner. Like, I don't want to support someone that's like that. That doesn't make the players feel good because they're obviously representing your brand. And it doesn't make the coaches feel good because it's their job to be good.
Yeah.
So I just don't know. And even if it wasn't Gotaga, which he's also made some comments this year that I wasn't a fan of, like, even if this Mythics guy isn't a member of Gentlemates, he is still a talking head. He's still in the watch party. He's still a person that has influence among the Gentlemates fandom and organization. And I think that is just a very poor outlook in general. And I just cannot get behind that. Regardless of the actual decisions of the year. I also disagree with that, but that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah, I just think I think this is a learning lesson, bro. They got to keep that stuff in house. I know it's an ugly year for them, but I just think the finger pointing is just. I don't think it's ever worth it after the season, bro. People just want to get the last word in. And it's like,
Yeah, who is this? Like, who is Mystic? Like, who? I need to know who he is to the org.
used to
and,
compete,
like,
right? Used to be a pro.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think he played. I think, was it Pat had mentioned something about it?
He definitely used to play way back in the day, for sure. But I just, it's unclear to me if he's like 100% part of like ownership or just a friend of
So, like,
ownership and just an
yeah.
influencer for them.
maybe if like Maniac went out and said something about OpTic, like on a stream or something like that. I'm trying to compare it to.
Yeah, Gotaga said some stuff on stream, and he was a little bit more political about it, but it was still like kind of walking the line of.
Well, he's the one
think-
that made the stat comment,
yeah,
right?
about Kismet. Yeah. So like, that's what I'm saying. It's just I just think, again, I think people in ownership in the ownership group are trying to wash their hands of any responsibility for what happened this year, but like ultimately they are responsible because they own the team, so they are accountable. To
They made the
fans.
decision.
So like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like this maneuver doesn't always really work. It works the first season. What's the famous quote? You can always blame one season on the manager, another on the players, but after like the third or fourth season, it's got to be on the owners. Like at some point, if they have another bad year, it's like you got to kind of look inwards, you know?
Yeah.
So we'll see. They have Connor in for fellow. You know, they still have kids on this roster, and yeah, I just think this is they have to play Thieves first. They have to play the Bends. I think they can beat them. I don't. They could get last in this group. On some real shit, if they're
They
super
could.
chalk, they could get last.
They could get last.
They could get last, but we'll see. I mean,
The
it'd be very
Bends.
funny if they beat Thieves, but I
That'd
can't
be
see it.
crazy. Imagine, dude. I'm in an edit in a week from now.
Well, the one thing I will say about this matchup, I know D-Real's in the chat. D-Real is saying what's on stream, one big thing, and I will say the double-edged sword. You know, he was saying that if you go back and watch Thieves' major 4-game play in S&D and Champs, they didn't really switch up, which I will say, devil's advocate, you don't want to get away from what's working, you know what I'm saying? like you do need to have a plan B if you know people are going to counter. Let's see if Thieves bring some new stuff in. Because if they get hard right again by Gentlemates and it goes to Game 5 gritty, you never know. But we all have Vancouver and Thieves getting out of this group, right?
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
We can hop on over to Group C. This one is wide open. I honestly believe that this is the group to watch because of the changes in this group and the skill level in this group. I'll be honest. I think even Team War would have had a chance going in, or actually do have a chance going in. We'll get to their roster situation. Boston Breach are the number 1 seed because they got third at champs. Crazy. We'll get to that in a second. They're going to square up against Team War, who have Nissim at this event. So Diamond Con goes off to LAG. So it's Turiel, Assault, Linz, and Nissim. And Linz actually couldn't attend this event. They had Bink actually joining the team. So a bit of a weird one there. KOI, if you see here, that's actually Toronto Ultra. And they have Aben for Beans. And then Team Falcons, they've also made a change. TJ's come over for Carolina for Priestess. So of all the roster changes in this group other than Boston, where do you guys want to start for this one?
Toronto.
Yes.
I want to ask the group, bro, because I don't think Ben Beans played Ben didn't play droppable COD. So there has to be something going on in the background there with the Merc thing. And they didn't really address on the blueprint video that came out this week. What a weird kind of change for Abe. I'll start with you, Sam. What are your thoughts on what's going on there?
Well, I just think that Toby and Jamie are their poster children. I think that they're just loyal to them. There was serious discussion around upgrading in the AR position for Jamie. Merc, even before Merc, but especially after. I think that dropping Beans was a pretty big surprise to me. It's an even bigger surprise that he's actually not on his CDL team anymore. He's playing on the Benz. But I like the Abe pickup. I've been high on Abe for a while now, honestly, since last year. I know he had a short stint on the Stallions. But I've played against him. Granted, the sample size is fucking ranked play, but
Yeah.
I shot against him and I knew that he kind of had it, to be honest with you. So there's been the moments this year where I've had an opportunity to bring up challenger players. I always mention Abe's name. So I'm happy that he gets an opportunity here. I think it's, again, a phenomenal landing spot. I think if you're a rookie player, landing in the Toronto camp is one of the best case scenarios for you, just to be able to hit the ground running. I think that they've done a phenomenal job since MW19 of really fostering new talent. I think Joe has flourished there. I think Toby and Jamie have both obviously done really well. Scrap did really well. I'm sure there's other examples as well, but I'm happy for Abe. I think he is gross just mechanically, and I think that I hope he does well. But yeah, I think that Jamie should have been the one to go for sure.
I'm going to
I think
No,
I
finish your
just
thought.
sorry. I just don't know if the way that he plays COD really has a consistent spot in the CDL. His pacing is a problem. It has been for a while now. I think as the years go on, as the titles evolve, that style of Call of Duty is becoming more and more of a hindrance as opposed to a positive. He is still very good at search, but I think that the respawn game modes, he's just not fast enough. He's not doing enough on the map to influence the outcome of the game.
Cap, I want to go to you next. Thoughts on Abe? Thoughts on this being last chance saloon for Insight?
I don't know much about Abe, so I really can't comment there. I really haven't watched him play at all. But on the Beans Insight situation, I just from watching them play the eye test, the numbers, everything, it was Insight should be the one to go. That's how it felt. So the fact that they got rid of Beans, who I think Beans had some good moments early in the season, maybe mid-season. I don't think he ended that strong. I think he kind of was pretty mid-pack there at the end, in every category, statistically everything. But the fact that they got rid of Beans and not Jamie, I'm assuming there's something where Beans is there's something lacking. Maybe his arrow's not great, maybe he's bad comms, but I'm assuming in that camp they're just all right, we can plug in someone else, and they did with Merc, and we'll see more consistency from everyone on the roster. You know what I mean?
These are Ben's stats, by the way, on the screen for you.
Yeah, at the end of the year, it was pretty just mid,
Yeah.
right, below average. So you're getting that from your quote unquote rogue AR, who you expect to be a slayer. It's like I said, I still think Jamie was worse, but that was below standard. So I don't know. I do think Jamie has to. I don't know if he's going to be able to fix it for this event, but I think for as far as his career goes, like he does have to go back to the lab and like revisit his own play style, and like it probably just comes down to playing the toy more. That's what happens for a lot of people as you get older. You've been doing it for a few years. But to Sam's point too, the slow AR gimmick. Oh, I've been anti slow AR for ever, literally forever. So I do think that we're finally coming around to, slow ARs are getting pushed out, but it's taking some time, and gotta do some soul searching. And
What do you think about the Toby flex?
I don't know. I think it's weird. I think it was like too early in his career. He was still too good with a sub.
Yeah,
even though we just talked about
transition to the AR.
Yeah, we just talked about sim switching, but like I think that's a different situation where it's like if you're adding like a proven stud SMG, like I said, Nep. It was like, okay, maybe you do that to make it work, but like in this situation, someone like Abe is that guy. So maybe it all works out and like it's worth it for Toby to switch, but feels like he had more time as like maybe not a tier 1 sub, but like a tier 2 sub for sure.
I think he was tier 1 for a while. I think this was the first season where he was like,
yeah.
I want to gas Toby a little bit in that regard because I've always gassed him just mechanically, but I think this season it was an adjustment with Joe because Joe was what Toby used to be right now.
Yeah.
Like Joe just came in and just hit the ground, fucking head bash, do whatever he wants. And I think Toby had to have like a real realignment in the way that he played COD. Like he was pulling out an AR on the red card hard points for them. That's why I think the flex thing isn't like super crazy, at least for EWC, just because he has used an AR a fair amount this year. But I just want to gas Toby in that way because that's like a cool step that he had to make this year, and I think he did it well.
Yeah, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts, Chelly?
Yeah, I mean, I've been a Jamie Insight defender for pretty much this entire season. Anytime that they've been calling to drop him, I feel like I've kind of come to his side and been like, all right, well, we've seen glimpses where he's pulled out, we have Subsight every now and again, and he just looks like a completely different player, and he can hang with some of the the faster ARs in the game. But this is a move that I don't understand. I think that I was ready for it. I was ready to say my goodbye to Jamie Insight on the Ultra, and I'm surprised. To my surprise, they kept him. I said at the beginning of this season that I think this is going to be a great title for Insight. I think we're going to see similar to Cold War Insight, where he was one of the more dominant ARs in the entire game. And Octane was there too. That was pretty cool. But I just can't do. We call for him to use his left stick more. We see glimpses of it, like on Vault, where you have no choice, but to kind of be a little bit of a faster player. But it's not consistent enough. And you guys said it so well. The slow ARs, just the main ARs, the role evolves with every title, and I don't think he ever evolved to play at the faster pace this game. So I think that. I don't know what's going on behind closed doors. If there is some sort of, and people are going to say friendship cheese, that's always in the back of your mind because you know how good of friends Toby and there's Kleenex and Insight are. So obviously that's, people are going to talk. I think the best way you can silence them is by coming out and proving them wrong at this tournament. So I'm hoping the best for Koi.
I just think it was loyalty. I don't even think it was friendship cheese, truly. I think the org is just like, you've won a tournament every year that you've been here. I feel like they're just giving him some grace, to be honest. I think they're just being loyal to the duo. Yeah. That's what I feel. That's what I feel like it is. I don't know if it's like, I don't maybe it's friendship. I don't know.
It could be that, but
like
anyone that's ever played with Jamie, obviously the arrow question, the speed is always a thing, but like nobody who's ever teamed with them has talked shit about him as a teammate. And I've only said positive things. So like what I can imagine is it's a loyalty because he's a hard worker. He shows up to practice on time. He goes hard. Yeah, he's got some in-game issues that are probably going to result in him getting, off this roster next season. But that's probably why they went with that. Bro, watching the blueprint was so weird the way it was edited, their video. They just didn't address the Ben thing at all, and it makes me think that there was just a personality breakdown out of game after champs, and they just wanted to go in a different direction. They just felt like Abe was the best. And by the way, we just talked about this. They pump faked everybody during that roster mania period. Everybody thought that they were getting Mamba. and they just ended up getting Abe. So a little bit of a wrinkle for roster mania, a little misinfo going around out of Toronto.
He's
camp.
on Ravens, right? Or would have been.
Mamba?
Is that, yeah.
No, they were going to pick up €3. It was going to be Afro, Mythics, and somebody else, right?
That's what I'm saying. That was where he was going to go, though, right? If I remember. Or no, it was
Mamba?
Cobra, not a different snake. It was Cobra, not
Mamba was
Mamba.
linked to like ROKKR or some shit. I don't know.
Different snake. Apologies.
Yeah.
Got
So
mixed up.
well, obviously they never asked for Mamba. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if that was intentional at Toronto's camp or someone spread fake proppy, but there's some funny business going on there. That's why I tell everybody to be careful. But yeah, what do you guys think? The other war, I think with Bink, I would have given them a chance, but not having Lynn, who is not attending the event for personal reasons, he tweeted out yesterday, I believe. I'll pull up the tweet right now so you guys can see. He's taking a bit of a break. He tweeted this out yesterday morning. I would have given War maybe a little bit of a chance in this group, but I think probably not. So do you think that Toronto get out of this group, or do you think the changes for Falcons maybe puts them in play to potentially get this done in their home event? If you want to consider it that.
What was the other team? Heretics?
Boston.
Or no? Boston?
We just got third in champs inexplicably. I don't think anyone saw
Not
that happening.
inexplicably. It's a dirty Nuzlos. This group is fucking wide open, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, Boston, you would think, okay. I will say
Boston,
this.
Toronto,
I'm in
obviously
on,
the easy answer.
yeah.
But I really don't fucking know.
I don't really know.
Really?
I mean, what do you guys want to talk about first? Falcons or Boston before we...
We talk about Boston. We got third. Give me some tip. Give me
I
some
mean,
gas.
they got third and won one hard point the entire event, right?
It was after they secured third.
Yeah. I mean, listen, the thing I will say about Boston, regardless of how the season has gone, it is clear this team works hard. It is clear that they have figured out how to play as a unit, and it has led to them having really solid results this year. They've never looked like a team that was going to get to a final. Like, they got third this event, but like nobody was expecting them to really win in winners finals or losers finals to get that done. Like, they got a solid placing and they managed to be in sixth all year. Considering that this is likely the last event for the org, you would think that they're getting sold after this one.
Didn't they put out a tweet like "see you next year" or something like that?
I think they did.
They definitely put out like "we're gonna be here next year" kind of thing.
Interesting.
I don't remember what it was. Maybe it was their champs tweet, like "we got third, see you next year" or something along those lines. I don't know if this team is going anywhere or not, or maybe that was just like, what you do. See you next year.
Yeah, last year when we saw the CDL team transactions, that happened. Well, the LEG one didn't happen until after EWC, but the C9 one did. So global roster lock was way before this event, so I think that eliminated that happening this year. But I don't know. The rumors are that Boston's selling, but who knows if it actually happens.
And Ravens too, right? Ravens was the other one.
Carolina's been linked. We'll see. But I mean, Boston, I think will at least win a hard point in this group. They just have some tough bogey maps. They're, like your Hacienda, hard point S&D, Skyline. Boston?
Hacienda S&Ds are best shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They have bread and butter, is what I'm saying.
Oh,
like, that's
you
what I'm
said
saying. They're hard
bogey
out.
maps.
Hard out. Like, they're,
Okay.
sorry, like, they have gotten
I
here
was about to say.
they have gotten here by, like, really having a solid core of a little map
Yeah,
pool.
yeah, yeah.
And, like, against the better teams.
Okay, here we go.
But, bro, they beaten Thieves twice on land this year. Like, we got it tipped at,
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
So that's the trailer.
Yeah, they fucking dirty nuzzle at these, man.
And next season, smiley face. Well, I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Maybe they partner with somebody. Maybe the situation where Boston Breach keeps it the branding, but someone else buys a spot, and then Boston's the operator or some other bullshit. Like, we'll see what happens.
I'm just a perennial Boston hater. I know that's bad to say, but just like I just never have faith in this team to like do well. And I know they got third, and I absolutely will give them their props for getting third. But like if they lose to Falcons, like I won't be shocked. I don't know.
Issues. I think they're a likable team. Like I want Boston to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Ben's point, I think they work hard. Like the fact that they were able to pull off a third, it feels like they have a good amount of upsets throughout the year, but they're just not consistent, and it's just so hard to pick them. Like they're just, I don't know. They're not an exciting team.
I would say they're overperforming their talent as a team. I think they are like very much hitting the limits of what they can do with that squad. I don't think any of them are bad
Yeah,
players.
third at champs with that roster is
It's nuts.
that's the peak of what you could do with that squad.
I think when you talk to people behind the scene, obviously a lot of people tip Snoop's improvement in his gameplay, and you can hear the comms. Wake and Cammy have had their stretches this season where they've been very good. And a lot of people, like, Purge's gun skill's not elite, but when I talk to a lot of pros, they love the plays that he makes. The way he reacts to information and the way that he fills lanes, like he understands how to hit the right play at the right time, even if he can't always win that gunfight.
Bro,
I'm a big Purge guy.
dude, when Purge came to the league, people forget how he was pretty much laughed at for his performance, and now
He was laughed at against the good teams, not the bad ones.
Yeah.
That was always the caveat. He has always had a great arrow. Even last year when he was getting dumped on, he couldn't play well against like the top end of the league, but he would play serviceable or fry the mid to bottom pack.
Yeah.
And this year, I mean, this guy is dropping fucking bombs on FaZe, Thieves, OpTic, whoever. Like he took massive strides individual this year, and he's still got a great arrow. So I'm a big Purge fan personally.
Well, the other team in this group is the Vegas Falcons, who this is probably the last look at this version of the Falcon squad. They have made one change going into this event. TJ Halley turning over from Carolina. This nice little graphic. Their graphic designer of Vegas Falcons is always so good. They have dropped Preston for him, so it's Alec, aka RC's TJ. TJ's running a sub for them. Pred and Exen will be flexing. So I want to start with you, Cap.
Flexing.
Do you think this team can get out of groups? And do you also think that Exen might kind of be playing for his roster spot next
I think they can get out of groups. I think Toronto's locked, and then I think the second spot comes down to either Boston or these guys. We just have no idea what to make of these guys. It's a brand new roster. We have no clue what they're going to be like. And I think if Falcons can just like buy a super team, they're going to do that. But as far as actually players playing for his roster spot, like I think if that's on the table, they go that route. But I don't know what's possible. If they don't, I would assume Exnid probably stays around next year.
year? Yeah. I think at worst, they're gonna like Exen will play in like NA challengers. Like they'll keep him on as a sub, you know what I'm saying? Let him just develop at worst.
dude, I keep thinking about Kicks in the back of my mind also while you're talking. Is he gonna come back next year? Because I know it was a short stint, but he was gross.
Sailed.
You think that ship has sailed?
Bro, I feel like if he had the desire to play competitive COD, especially after the community's like outlook on him this year, I feel like he would have at least attempted to come back. Because he's playing at home. He's playing in like the Saudi league. I feel like just what it took to come here and like do that, I feel like he just didn't want to do.
Yeah, I don't know.
Man, how old is
What's
he?
going on
Like
I'm not
early
sure.
20s.
I have no clue.
that? Chad, does anyone know how old
It's a
Kicks
lot,
is?
dude. It's a lot to move from there to the US. Like it's hard.
I
have
just
no
think
idea how old
I
he
just
is.
think for Falcons, there's such a wide range of outcomes for how roster mania could work out. Like they could completely
Kicks, dude.
whiff, and then it's like maybe two changes, and it's Exen and Pred, and they pick up two better ARs or an AR and a sub, and they just they become a serviceable team next year, or they just full swing for the fences, and this is like the number one super team roster this offseason. Like it could be anything in between those, to be honest.
24.
It's 24.
Investigative
Okay. He's a
digging
little
out
bit
of
older. But yeah, I Exit on a flex makes sense to me. I kind of see the thought process. I will say for Teej's last couple events this year were not as good as how he started off the season. The first two events were like, oh, Tej, he's having like a career year. He's continuing the momentum from last year. And then the whole team kind of fell off. In particular, he also fell off. And so coming into this one, like Tej kind of needs a big event, right? Otherwise, he's just going to have to really play the politics to get into a better situation next year.
Yeah, I feel like Tej is definitely vibes on the team definitely affect Tej because he's just a vibes guy.
Yeah.
And we talked about it week in and week out. Like the vibes on that Ravens roster was checked. I don't know what Sam after Major 3. Would you say? So I can understand and give him a little bit of leeway there. Just it's hard to play with a roster that might not even want to show up to the event. But I'm hoping, kind of getting rejuvenated with some fresh blood. Exnid, AG, obviously. AG might be top vibes guy of all time because when it's good with AG, it's good. You know what I mean? He's screaming in comms. He's getting you up. So I think it's going to be a great fit. But I can also see the lows being low and the highs being high, respectively, for this team.
I mean, I think regardless of what happens with Ej, I think that this is just an EWC team. Kind of what you said, Ben. I feel like there's such a wide range of possibilities with Falcons here. Like, I think the main thing that has traction right now is the Sib Pred reunion eventually. Or again, they just like buy some crazy fucking team and they follow how they have in other esports and just drop a bag. But if that doesn't happen and they continue to develop XNID, I mean, there's so many possibilities with where this roster ends up that I mean, your guess is as good as mine. Same with everyone in the community. I really don't know.
I was trying to think, who would I predict to get second on this group? I think I gotta probably say Boston, right? I think I'd probably trust.
I'm gonna go Boston, Toronto, but
Yeah.
I would not be shocked if Falcons beat Boston.
I also won't be surprised if Toronto comes and they're just worse and maybe they.
I would be
completely
shocked by
them out.
that. I would be shocked if Toronto doesn't make it out of this.
Toronto. So that clarity. So that Boston plays Team War, who they should beat. Obviously, War playing with Bink, and then so Toronto play Falcons. And by the way, this is like Falcons' home event, so I assume there'll be a little bit of momentum and energy there. So who knows?
Is War just cooked for this event, by the way? I wanted to ask. I don't know much about Bank. They're just cooked, right? Team War?
Every challenger team is cooked.
I think the problem is, I think Niam's good. I think just the sub duo here is just, it's just not. I just think they're gonna have a tough time with this. Any opponents they face this tournament, they might have had a chance with Linz because Linz can sometimes take over, but I don't think so.
Actually, I take it back. Not every challengers team in here is cooked because there's one team that isn't a challengers team.
Well, you talk about OMiT in Group D.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. So okay, so we all think Toronto and probably Boston, but maybe Falcons get out. That'll be kind of a cool story, but we shall see. Let's talk Group D. I gotta say, I think OMiT definitely the best challengers team, but they got a bad draw. And
They did get a bad draw.
they had a bad draw even with Carolina in.
Oh, it's fucking Heretics. I was thinking about Miami. I was like, oh, they're fine here. Never mind. That's fucking Heretics.
This is just, if you put on, for example, you put on mid versus Boston in Group C, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you know, Mitt's got
I agree
a
with
good
that,
control team. Like,
Yeah.
you never know. You put them in, say, Group A, and yeah, they probably lose to OpTic, but G2 and C9, not the world's best teams at closing. Like, maybe they got a chance. Group B, I think they'd always be a fuck, but yeah, it's a tough draw. You got FaZe and Heretics have obviously made 0 changes from champs. OMiT have stuck together. This has been the #1 team in challengers down the stretch here. Clear #1. Crazy Mac, Mamba, and Reese Vivid. I think a couple of these guys, obviously Mac and Reese were in the league earlier this year, but I think Crazy and Mamba are going to get linked to pro teams in the offseason. P7 are their team in the group. This is the OMiT Brooklyn team. So because OMiT, their main team is the one that qualified in. This is the one that had to get moved to another org. So it's Brack, Prolude, Stanny, and Yuli. Obviously, a lot of former pros there. So there's no lack of experience in this group.
This is a really good pool.
It's a really good pool, but does anyone really want to stick their neck out and pick the upset in this one?
No, I still think Miami and FaZe get out, but I like just talent wise, this is an insanely stacked pool.
Yeah.
I'm still taking Miami and FaZe though.
I assume FaZe OMiT will be the main stage match to go off the rip, and then Miami will play P7 probably on the side station. If I guess I haven't seen a full schedule, but I want to start. Let's start with FaZe because we were going there. I think there's obviously some disagreement here about the situation. What do they do after this event? I think the read on FaZe this year, clearly the last few months, is that they just seem they've never really been this way in a long time, but they're just very day to day. It seems like. There's just times where I think they get on, they look great, and there's times where they pull these events, they just have a stinker. And can they do what they did last year, where they just went on a roll and clicked? So we'll go to you, Chelly. You think FaZe are maybe top 8 candidates this one, or do you think they factor into the final equation?
I think FaZe is going to the finals. And were you guys talking about it earlier? Like, there's no pressure. If you guys are saying like the vibes are chalked with this team, and they're already thinking about forming the next super team or whatever, that is when some of these teams play their best COD. And I feel like FaZe, like they brought in the performance coach, and just tried to fix that over the years, and you saw what happened to EWC last season. So I really do think FaZe are going to go far in this tournament. Winning it, I don't think that's out of the question, but I do see them in the finals for sure.
Yeah, what do you think? What's your read on FaZe?
I could see them making a run, but I still think rocked. I think like what Chelly said is they're at a point where they're over it. They're thinking about roster changes, and like to his point, like you don't care is kind of when you can play your best. Like you don't have that pressure on you to perform anymore. But I don't know with how I know those players. I feel like it's been so long with the same core, back-to-back bad years of champs. Like they're ready to move on. So I could see any range of outcomes for this team. I could see him winning again. I could see him getting knocked out in the pools. They just come out flat, like not really caring. It's impossible for me to predict. Not really a prediction at all because I don't think they could do anything. But
What do you think, Sam?
I mean, I'm never going to count FaZe out of a tournament. I think they could definitely make a final. I just don't agree with the winning and changing thing. Like, if they do well, they're going to continue to kick the can down the street, bro. They've won 3 out of the 5 tournaments this year. If you go off Benjay's metric, they won 4 in the calendar year.
Yeah.
I know it's not champs, but it's still an insane amount of success as a team. Like, you're throwing away potentially 3 tournament wins just so you can do well maybe at champs. I just don't see that. If they bomb out, if I'm talking shit at this event, I think they make a roster change. I think it's time. If they win this shit, if they make a final, I think it's a difficult combo. If they win it, absolutely they do not make a change. But
the problem, Sam, is they have 2 players.
the grass isn't always greener, as JKap says.
They have 2 players that are free. It's not like they're all under
they
contract.
think it is.
But the thing about all of these hypotheticals is that it requires so much to happen. Like there has to be just a perfect storm of shit for all of these roster changes to happen. Like OpTic, I'm assuming will not make a change because they just won champs. It's going to be between Thieves and FaZe, barring like maybe some like random dip to a team below, maybe like a Vancouver, like Cap said. I feel like both Thieves and FaZe have to do poorly for them to want to make a change because you're throwing
really
away
not factoring
serious
Falcons
success.
in. You're really not, bro. Dude, bro.
Do you think they're going to buy him out?
All I'm saying, and I don't know if it's an intentional strategy out of Falcons. There are some people in that Falcons camp that are going, like they're doing the quasi tampering thing. They're going around to people. They know who's free, and they're saying, "Yo, we really value you. We're gonna come get you. To stay patient after EWC." They're like starting to seed doubt and kind of spread their tentacles around. I don't know who eventually they're gonna put on the clock, but
I can't predict if like we'll use the Abizi thing because that just is what people are talking about. Like I can't factor in Falcons just going to whisper 7 figures in Tyler's ear. Like I have no idea if that's going to happen. I'm talking just strictly on the team's merit as a whole. There's just the levels of success and how the players view that. Absolutely. Like, is adding 1 or 2 majors to Sim's legacy going to move the needle? No. Is adding a ring? Absolutely it will. I understand that dynamic, but I'm saying just if you go out a little bit and just view the year, like if you win EWC, that's still 3 fucking tournaments. I understand that champs didn't go how you wanted it to go 2 years in a row, but like you're not a bad team. You're not the amount that you would be risking. Also, again, Thieves would most likely have to want to do it as well. Like the amount that you would be risking and throwing away the success to potentially just do well at champs because that's all you care about. I just don't see that happening personally.
I think part of the thing there is that we're taught like, yeah, they could win 3 tournaments, but I think what could be killing these players is the inconsistency they have throughout the year because they've had it 2 years in a row now where they're winning tournaments, but then they're shitting the bed at champs. And even watching them, like you can tell, like with Thieves, it feels like they had a very consistent season, won their tournaments, and then just shit at champs. But like, I would say they've looked more
shitted at Major 2 as well. They lost to Boston round 1 of Major 2.
Well, they ended up placing.
Like fourth, third.
I still think my point is I think they've been more consistent. You know, like just comparing Thieves and FaZe, like they've been a consistently good team. FaZe 2 years in a row now, like they have these highs where they win, but then their lows, like they don't even look that good when they're at their lows. You know what I'm saying? Like they started the
doing is consistency though, just the placings because they both won 2 tournaments.
not just placings, just watching them, like just watching the teams play. Like I don't know, there's a lot of subjectivity to that, but that's kind of how I feel about the FaZe team. Like I feel like they've been more consistent now for 2 years in a row. I think the players want more consistency because they're used to consistency. They're used to being at the top for so long. Like they don't want to go through this roller coaster ride every year. They want to find a way to be at the top consistently throughout the season.
I'm genuinely not arguing for the sake of, like, I'm genuinely curious. When you say consistency, like the way that you're framing it to me is that you want them to win every tournament. And that's just like not feasible.
No, I want them to consistently look like a top 3 team, because with the rosters around this season, they should have been like maybe that doesn't mean you play
tournaments this season. That doesn't mean you like where I'm arguing from. My point of view is that like I understand you want them to look better as a whole throughout the season and not have those floors. I get that. But at the same time, if you zoom out, they are the most successful team this season outside of like, you know, just winning champs, obviously, which is OpTic. Like they've won the most tournaments tied with Thieves. It's not the consistency I get. Like,
but okay,
right
but now
it's bad. Looking they didn't win champs, but like,
I don't know. Maybe I'm caught up in the recency bias of them getting it at champs, but I just think when I think they just have these slumps. Like,
no,
would you not?
I agree.
Would you not agree that they've
no?
2 years in a row now they
agree.
They have these slumps, and it's
my
that's why
the argument was where I was getting confused because they're the most successful team with Thieves right now. That's where like the consistency thing was where it was at.
Yeah, I'm just thinking these slumps are the inconsistency.
Yeah,
and it's not like, oh, this is the first time they've kind of had this thing. It's been like for
they bought
years. It's been up and down, up and down.
Yeah, I get that.
I think Sam. The problem is it's fun to speculate, but we just after this event we just don't know mentally each player. Are they like, is the grass greener on the other side, right? If you're a member of the trio, Simba, BZ, and Cell, you've stuck together, you've won an event every other year, other than whatever happened in Vanguard, where they got second a million times. Is it better to go to another team where the slumps and the floor might be lower? You might go to a team that, maybe you have a better chance to win champs, but you might be getting fucking dead last with that team. Which those guys,
I think if they make changes, though, they're trying to find more consistency.
I think absolutely that's what they're going to try and do.
They're trying to find that way to get back to that consistent feeling of dominance. Which, like I said, doesn't mean you win every tournament, but it means you're in the mix. It means you're making runs, you're top 3. Maybe you have a tournament where you slip up, but you still look good like outside that. That makes sense.
So Sam, just to clarify, if FaZe win EWC, you think they stick?
Absolutely, without a doubt.
I
think they should. That's what I think they should.
I feel like that would be back-to-back times where EWC, quote unquote, saved the roster by winning EWC. Back-to-back years.
Yeah, I know, which would be insane. Side note, Zuma just got engaged.
Yeah, shout out TP1, man. Shout out TP1.
What
that shit almost got leaked on the watch party whenever he was talking about it.
Yeah, no, he's been thinking about this for a couple of weeks. So I was like, I already said, I was like,
finally got his ring.
He got close,
bro.
Shout out Tommy and Mitch, man. Shout out Tommy and Mitch.
What picks he's got here?
These are great picks.
Let's go, bro.
Great
Good
picks.
shit. You got a ring?
Absolutely.
Well, but yes, Chelly. Yes.
I mean, I guess we'll see what happens with FaZe. I agree that there are a lot of range of outcomes can happen with them at this event, but I remember another FaZe team. They had a bad event. It was looking chalk. Season 1 playoffs, World War II. Crowder was actually a part of that team. They lost that first match in that tournament, made the full losers bracket run with just like chalked energy, like it's their last red energy, and they won the event. You just never know. They may come into it and say, "Who knows what happens after this event? Let's just play, no stress. If we suck, we suck. If we play great, we're great." And
that's what they did last year, most likely. This was the same conversation last year, and they went in and just slammed that shit.
So they have the talent to do it. They won 2 events this year, so.
Yeah.
Other teams in this group. Let's talk about Miami, who have not won an event yet, but I've been really like happy with the way that they played. I just am curious, starting with you, Chelly, like if Miami don't make a deep run this tournament, I think for them at this point to qualify a deep run, their standards is probably making a final because they've gotten so close so many times. Do you think that maybe couple of players on this team, like your ROKKRs, your Supers, their English is very good. If you hear their interviews, they might just get kind of poached onto another team, and then this team is sort of a big what if team in the history of God.
Nah, I don't see it, especially with 2 rookies on your roster. And just knowing the parent org, like the Heretics are just it's a perfect fit. And I don't think that unless there was the Falcons offer or something like that on the table that was worth even batting an eye over or like looking twice at, I just don't see the change happening, especially just being so early in their careers. I feel like you don't go bag hunting for at least a couple seasons and being successful. And this team, the upside that they have, that they've shown, the ceiling that they haven't, I don't think they've hit their ceiling personally. Metals, again, just turned it around towards like the latter half of the season and found his footing. Then you have 2 rookies and Real, who I guess this is his 2nd season now. Bro, this team, their ceiling has to be winning multiple events, in my opinion. So
I'm a big fan of their team as well. I've been all in on Miami for a little while now. I just since Metals like kicked it up is when this team hit like a real flow. And I know they haven't made a final yet, and that's pretty disappointing for them. But like the scaling in which this team has now, while also maintaining the integrity of the Spanish thing that they were really passionate about, I think is a level of respect that they definitely earned. This team's fucking insane. They have co-rookies of the year because what happened on stage with that, which I also think was really cool for them. I'm just all in on Miami. I'm a huge fan of their team. I like the way they play the game, and I think they're disgusting. I think they also make it out of this group.
Do you think they can win a tournament, Sam?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I could see these guys win a tournament.
I think they
think
can.
they could.
I think they can. The problem is they got to get there. They like the thing with them is like they have shown that they can against quality teams, Thieves, FaZe, play these Game 5 series, these grind out series, and win that Game 5. They have that grit in them. The problem is I've been waiting to see that grit in a final. When they get to Sunday, just pull up and like they're the 3rd best team type.
Yeah,
energy.
losers final. They usually don't
Yeah.
show up in.
It's like I don't know what the barrier is there. Like, is there sort of a mental issue? Are they not getting prepared on Sunday? Or are they just not progressing over the course of a tournament in the way that other teams are? Like, I think, again, looking at the group draw here, I think they have a good chance to beat FaZe. They've already beaten FaZe twice on LAN recently. Like, they can beat them again and get the 1 seed. It will put them on a tough side of the bracket for what it's worth. Because I think A and D 1 seeds all end up on the same side of the bracket. So they may be in a position where they then got to play OpTic in semis. But maybe that sets them up nicely because if you beat that OpTic match, now you're delusional confident going in the finals and maybe they get it done. But to anyone I think that doesn't put them as a favorite to potentially win this, maybe not top 3 shortest odds, I think you gotta based on their performance since the roster change.
Yeah, I mean, ROKKR, that guy is unbelievable. Genuinely, I got nothing but good things to say about ROKKR. And I mean, it's weird that like the year started and Real was like the real cornerstone of the team, and I feel like I have not said that guy's name in months. Which is like not necessary. It's like how you view O linemen. It's just like you don't say their name, they're probably fucking incredible. I just like there's so much talent on this team, and there's so many talking points with the rookies and the way that Metals has really elevated his game that like I feel like Real has kind of fallen through the cracks a little bit, but he's had some serious pop offs this year, and I'm just like I think this whole team is seriously well rounded. I don't know. I think they could win a tournament. I really do. They just gotta make it to a final and see how they perform.
I guess if we want to move on, I don't think there's not much really to be said about P7. I just think Brack Pro Standing Newly is like a good team. It's a good challengers team. I just don't think, unfortunately, that's the kind of comp that we'll get out of a group with Heretics and FaZe. So I think that unfortunately they'll probably just get last in this group. You guys agree. I think Craze and Mamba in particular are definitely going to get some looks in end of August. Once those like mid-pack teams start settling, like Crazy and Mamba are going to get some potential league offers for next season.
Crazy should have had offers this year. This guy won fucking 3 tournaments.
Yeah. Now, people rate them highly. So I just think they got a tough group job, bro. Like, FaZe first match, I can see them winning a map. They have a really good hardpoint map pool, a good S&D map pool. It's just once you get to the back half of that series, I just don't know against FaZe. I think we all agree FaZe Heretics, right? Getting on that group.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right. We got like a couple more minutes. We're gonna go one by one. It's kind of hard to do the bracket after it, but we'll go one by one. Start with you, Sam. Who do you got winning? Pick one.
Thieves.
Cap.
I have OpTic Thieves final. I wanted to pick Thieves to win, but like Sam did that, so now it's boring. I'll go OpTic to win.
It was either OpTic or Thieves for me.
Yeah.
Chelly, who you got?
I'll go FaZe. I'll shake it up. Be different.
Yeah,
Then you got to shake it up.
I don't know if I can, bro.
Take Vancouver, Ben.
I don't think I could trust Vancouver or Miami. I just think Thieves. I'm gonna be honest with the Thieves situation. We didn't really talk about it, bro. Dan's got to have a good event. I think Dan's MO, especially in finals, has not been great in his career. I saw a Reddit post today. He's like overall KDs in finals. Like
Is it bad?
it's bad.
Not great.
And his last EWC tournament, I think, was super up and down. And I think considering where this team is, like if he doesn't have a good event, I think they could look elsewhere in his spot. I think I got a Thieves OpTic final, and I think Thieves lock in that one and get it done. But I'll be honest, with the coach thing and a bunch of other stuff, this tournament can get weird just like Champs did. Just FYI. Like I won't be surprised if we get like a FaZe Vancouver final or a Miami OpTic final or just some weird comp there within the 5 teams we think have a legit win. None of us agree that Toronto or Boston or Falcons have a legit chance. I don't know. Nothing I've seen from them this season.
I need to get some info on whether coaches are actually common and what they're saying. Because I think that'll be largely a non-factor for this tournament. I think it can be a factor down the road if it becomes a standard rule, but I think for this tournament on the short notice, that is a basically non-factor.
I've heard that some of the coaches are they've been trying to, as best they can, feel out like how beneficial them helping on comms are. So we'll see. I think it's going to be a bit of a game time decision, and I think you're going to see a lot of split strategy on how teams handle it.
I have one question that I think, Ben, you might have the answer to. How are we watching this tournament?
Great question. It's actually on multiple platforms, including.
This is not what I meant.
What do you mean?
Codcaster doesn't work.
Oh, I saw Nasty talking about. I think they're on the esports build for this event.
Oh, Activision gave him the esports.
Yeah,
one?
I saw. I swear, maybe someone in chat can speak to this.
That was a great plug. I actually love the segue that you're
I
about
thought
to
you were
hit me
about to
with,
go in
and
that direction.
I appreciate that.
That's where I thought that was going.
No, I appreciate that effort that you just gave me right there, but different combo.
I'll find out. I swear someone linked me a clip of Nasty talking about it, saying on stream that they're on the esports build.
I just didn't know if Activision was going to throw him a bone.
Yeah, that is the one thing. The game is a little buggy. There was a tweet a couple of weeks ago about the OpTic guys showing some evidence that there's potentially different control spawns depending on maybe tick rate or server. Last year, they were on the retail build and there were issues on day one with stability. I don't remember, there were a lot of delays on the first day. So we'll see. I won't be surprised if there are some non-ideal situations, and hopefully that's enough momentum to finally get Activision to maybe make Codcaster a little bit more of a polished product. That is insane. And by the way, different spawns for different servers. If it's caused by tick rate, between maybe an AWS hosted server and another server, it's actually, I'm not surprised that that's a bug. It should get fixed, but I'm not surprised that kind of bug surfaces. So, as for the actual question, it's going to be on like every platform. I think you can watch it on TikTok actually. So, that'll be for the watch party. It will be nice here on Twitch. So, Chelly, I don't know if you've looked. A lot of odds and props and squares are up. Have you anything you're looking at this week?
I mean, when ROKKR play Cloud9, I mean, that's just going to be an absolute bloody mix fest. So I know they're in the same group. So that's what I'm going to be looking out for. Just literally just absolute mix fest. And then, yeah, I'm going to be targeting narratives as well. Like if Beans ever does end up playing Ultra, like going to be targeting some Beans lines for sure.
You love a revenge.
I love, and you know what? They're
Tried and true, Cap. Tried and true.
It is super consistent for the most part.
Statistical analysis of revenge games. There's actually anything to this.
And something to note, they haven't even put up any player lines for Team War just because of the whole Lin situation.
Yeah.
But I have to figure out a little bit more about this Bink. Well, he's been coaching them, I believe, and now he's stepping in and playing. So it doesn't sound like a Marky B situation, but
Hey, don't. You wanted a fortress control offense, brother.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that.
Well, listen. Speaking of control, this is what I always say with these challengers teams. If I think the best play is some of these challengers teams are going to get 3-0 waxed in control. I'm looking at, like a P7 versus Miami Heretics. Those map 3 lessons, bro. It's
a good shout, Ben.
It's hard to see the grind down there. If you get a vault control, maybe it gets a little dicey, but I think that's a good angle, or the super map 2 more, because that guy's just a money printer in searches. But we'll stay tuned to the socials. I'm sure me, Chelly, Tom, a bunch of other people will be posting our plays.
Oh yeah,
the league
I'm
as
back.
we-
I'll be watch partying as well. I'll be in the call and stuff.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
you're
gonna have a
back.
nice gritty early morning call. Everybody's gonna be low on caffeine, absolutely trying to get doped up on some COD. We got a couple of community questions. We got like 5 minutes, so let's just bang through these. Shout out to everybody that submitted them. First up, we got my boy McCarty Maxwell, formerly of Atlanta FaZe. What cities should the CDL go to next season? We'll make this easy. You guys, we'll start bottom up, Chelly. If you could pick one city you want the CDL to go to next season, where are we going?
Expansion or just tournament?
For a tournament.
For tournament, Vegas again, bro. I didn't get to go to champs when I was in Vegas, but it
I
just
bet
makes.
you do want to go to Vegas. You
Yeah, that's not.
No,
I
Vegas
mean,
Champs is great though. Vegas Champs is great.
Vegas champs was
Vegas
great,
is-
other than the placing.
But yeah, I'd say Vegas.
All right. What do you got, Sam?
London.
Oh, I love it. What do you got, Cap?
I don't know. Have LAT host an event.
Yeah? That'd be lit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we got the
Sam.
fundage for that, Cap.
Damn, your boy's been
We're-
slacking.
So we're saying
We got
Anaheim,
the-
we're saying
the
Anaheim,
fundage for
LA.
that.
As if I wasn't there.
Let's
Your
go
boy's
back.
been
Let's go back to
slacking.
the
You got to
10th.
dip into Nate Shot case fundage.
Yeah, exactly. Nate
You
just like
can.
some of
You
those
can.
fucking skins. I got one. I know COD fans and COD players don't love this city, but I think the environment of this event would be really good. I'm down for a Paris event, bro.
I like
fuck that
Paris.
place.
Again,
I like Paris.
COD pros, I know a lot of you have, and you can go on Twitter. A lot of you have tweeted some not nice things about Paris over the years. But let me tell you, if we had a Paris event, I think those Gentlemates fans are going to make that event really special. A lot of Europeans will also travel because the continent is fucking tiny and easy to get from one side to the other. So, cool. Next question. This one's from Double XP. A bit of an interesting one. How will the continued success of EWC impact comp COD? Will move the needle, not just player mindset, but fans, programming schedule, etc. I think the question he's asking is like, does the importance of EWC and COD participating really do anything for comp COD, or is just kind of there on the event schedule and it kind of is what it is? I think that's kind of my take on it. It's just like, I think it's going to be great to have another big money tournament, but I don't think like until EWC becomes some super, super prestige thing that everybody centers every season around, it's just another event on the schedule. It's maybe a little bit more important than a major.
Agreed.
You guys all agree? Nobody wants to take the counter on that?
Yeah, I think that's appropriate.
Cool. All right, we got 2 minutes left. I had to put this one in. It's a trolley one from Justin Pistachio. You guys are not going to be surprised then by the question.
Oh
Best
my God.
Korean barbecue orders. What were you thinking, boys?
I don't think I've ever been to KBBQ.
You've never been to Korean barbecue?
What?
Oh, we
think so.
gotta fix that. Next time we're at an event, we gotta fix that.
I don't think I've done that.
Soju. Anything soju. All of the soju flavors. You gotta try an assortment. That's
As an alcoholic gambler,
I
right?
knew that was gonna. Sam, I've been watching your GTA RP streams. I don't think you get to talk about gambling
shit.
anymore.
Too much gambling going
Bonanza
on.
got me.
I mean, I'm thinking you gotta get the bulgogi brisket, gotta get short rib, gotta get pork belly. Obviously, you
Yeah,
gotta get
I
all the
think
bunch
I've-
on the sides. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? Soju, that's a
I
good.
think I've
That's a
been to
good.
Korean barbecue.
How have you never been to Korean barbecue?
Still got one here.
We gotta listen. I'm telling you, because I think the YouTube deal's done after this year. All I'm saying is maybe we're back on Twitch. Maybe the whole squad goes out to some watch parties next season. If we go to an event, we gotta go to. And Sam, you're going. We gotta go to Korean barbecue,
Sure.
and we'll get content
paying?
out of it. We gotta get content out of it. You know what I'm saying? We gotta
Oh, cool.
get
You're
Sam's
paying.
first
Absolutely.
experience. AK, we'll get you fucked up.
God forbid you have a meal without content behind it.
God forbid.
I mean,
no vibes for
but
Ben.
we're
Just gotta
content
be
creators,
content.
bro. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. So, well, speaking of it going, I think it's time to wrap this show up. Appreciate the boys for tuning in. Octane, JKap, Chelly. It's been a minute. We're gonna probably do a show after EWC once Roster Mania breaks. Start talking about all the news. So this will obviously be up on YouTube. Make sure you guys check it out. I'm sure you're probably watching on YouTube already. And make sure you tune into us. I think 3 of us will definitely be watch partying. Cap, you gonna hang around the watch parties in the morning? Not busy?
No, I got a
Hey, waking
bachelor.
up.
I will be up. I got a bachelor party. I'm gonna be in
Another one?
Another one. 2 out of 3 weekends. Busy month. I'm gonna be in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. I'm gonna be horseback riding and fly fishing, and
Who are you friends with?
it's gonna be a great trip actually.
Fly fishing and a horseback riding.
Fly
in
fishing
Wyoming.
that's not really
What
my
the
kind of thing.
hell?
The horseback riding should be sick.
I'm just telling you.
It sounds nice, actually, but that's
Cap-
just a random.
Yeah,
Sure.
Cap and I were talking. Well, because you're going to Yellowstone, right, Cap?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cap and I were talking about this. I'm a big Jackson Hole fan. It's very. If you've never
sounds
been,
nice.
it's very beautiful.
Right.
Area, so,
Hell yeah.
speaking of that, and I'm gonna go touch grass. So appreciate y'all locking in. Make sure you guys check us out, and we'll see you guys on the next one.